So, good evening and welcome back to Joe Martin Field. Man, it's been a long time since we've said that. The Bellingham Bells here back at home at the Joe, and they're going to be facing a non-league opponent in this one after a 9-game road stretch throughout Canada. The Bells back here at home to take on the Northwest Star Nighthawks. Non-league action for the first time in this West Coast League summer. And we've got Cole Laubach going on the mound for your Bellingham Bells, the starting right-hander for Bellingham. He gets this start with a ERA on the season of .675. Laubach so far in the year, trying to improve on that in his 4th appearance of the summer. He is a freshman from UC Santa Barbara, coming off of just a few appearances collegiately. 3 innings this summer, 7 punch-outs for him to just 1 walk and a whip of 188. A 1-1 record for him, and he'll take over against a non-league opponent, throwing to the catcher Dylan Moss. Bellingham Bells back at home. It's been a long time since you've seen them. A 9-game road trip up into Canada since the last time that you saw them, and they went 2-7 on that 10-day road trip. They lost their opening series on the road trip against Victoria, only taking 1 game, and then they lost in a sweep to Edmonton. Then went to Nanaimo, dropped that series as well. So Bellingham Bells trying to get back on track now, back at home, and a non-league opponent to face it off against. 20-13 the record for the Bells. The Northwest Star Nighthawks coming into town. And Cole Laubach throwing the first pitch of the game. It's a swing and a miss for strike 1 against Drew Yount. Yount, the starting center fielder, coming out of Clark College. A lot of Clark College guys on this roster for the Northwest Star Nighthawks. Yount, the starting center fielder for the visitors, as Laubach's pitch is sprayed foul for an 0-2 start for the Bells right-hander. No balls, 2 strikes. Cole Laubach looking to get his start off on the right foot. She pitches home to Yount. And the 0-2 is hit over the head of the shortstop, Tyler Peschke, blooping into left field in front of Jaden Jackson for a leadoff single for the visitors. And a leadoff hit to start this non-league contest. So a leadoff single tags Cole Laubach for a base hit. Bell's starting pitcher, his last appearance came on the 30th of June at the Edmonton Riverhawks. Pitched 3 innings there. Was credited with the loss after giving up 10 hits against the Riverhawks. Surrendered 6 runs in that loss against Edmonton as part of the sweep from the Bellingham Bells in that loss. It was a bit staggering of a performance from Laubach, as we had seen his first 5 innings pitched with Bellingham, only allowing 1 run on 4 hits, but was tagged hard up in Edmonton. Now here against the Northwest Star Nighthawks, and 1-1 against Emmett Stein. The Nighthawks, they're an academy team affiliated with the Ridgefield Raptors. They've got an 18U, 16U, 14U, and of course these Northwest Star Nighthawks, who play a couple of different games throughout the West Coast League, play a lot of different opponents throughout summer collegiate ball up here. Some high school guys mixed on the roster, a lot of JUCO guys just trying to prove themselves. Almost like a feeder system into being called up into the West Coast League. We've seen a couple of guys go from being Bellingham 3rd in the North after a 2-7 road trip here at home for a non-league game. This will not count towards the overall record. It's basically an exhibition, but still reps for these guys. Reps for Cole Laubach's 1-2 pitch. That is, check swung on, and they say he goes around. So Cole Laubach gets his first strikeout after surrendering the leadoff single, and that's the first out in the ball game. The shortstop, Caden Taylor, comes up. He's a Clark College guy as well, but currently in the transfer portal and looking to find a new home after hitting .355 this year. Very successful season for the shortstop. He'll bat from the left side to face the right-handed pitcher, Cole Laubach. Drew Yount still the runner off of first base after the leadoff single to start the game here on this Tuesday evening. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Laubach ahead of another batter here. Laubach, 2 appearances for UC Santa Barbara this collegiate season. Just an inning and 2/3 pitched. He struck out 1 batter in that time. Throws over to first, where Yount is diving back safely on a tag of Noah Cassie. Bell's infield today, the third baseman is Nate Johnson, shortstop Tyler Peschke, the second baseman Rashad Hayes, and the first baseman Noah Cassie. In left field is Jaden Jackson. Center field for the Bells today is Aspen Alexander. And in right is Romanik Kibon, familiar face to Bellingham Bells fans from 2025. He's back with the team, getting the start in right. Dylan Moss doing the catch-in in the battery with Cole Laubach. No balls and 2 strikes on Taylor. Single and a strikeout so far for Laubach. His 0-2. Taken in the dirt by the shortstop. Bounces away from Moss, but the runner back to first. Drew Yount did steal 12 bags this year for Clark College, so he can run well, but decides to stay put. Ball and 2 strikes on Taylor. As he twirls the bat and waits for Cole Laubach's pitch with 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Sprays it foul off the left side. You'll see another 1-2. The Nighthawks most recently played against the Yakima Valley Pippins. When I say most recently, I mean most recent West Coast League game for them. Played a pair of games against the Yakima Valley Pippins. Actually took the first game against Yakima Valley, 13-7. They'll play just 1 here in Bellingham. 3 straight non-league games here at the park, but just the lone one here against the Nighthawks. That ball is taken, and the runner going, the throw down is in time, and Dylan Moss guns him out at second base for a caught stealing. Man, that was a close play at second base. It'll be the second out. The ball to Taylor was ball 2, so now Deuce is wild in the top of the first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. In a 13-7 win over Yakima Valley, Caden Taylor was 3 of 6 at the plate with 3 runs scored and an RBI. First at bat here against the Bellingham Bells. Against Cole Laubach, it's flown to the shallow left field territory where Jaden Jackson will have the catch. It's an unconventional 1-2-3 inning for Cole Laubach and the Bellingham Bells, and we go to the bottom of the first here at Joe Martin Field, back here at home.
Have you had a fall, sprain, or break? Skip the emergency room and go straight to the experts, Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons. With walk-in, same-day orthopedic care, you won't have to wait for the treatment you need. And to better serve our community, we've extended our walk-in clinic hours, 1 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons.
Back here in Bellingham, Washington, bottom of the first inning here at Joe Martin Field. First time in a while since you've seen your Bellingham Bells here at home. The last time, in fact, June 25th. Bells were gone for ages. Total 10-day road trip for them, but in total for us here at the park, 11 days since we've had Bellingham Bells baseball here at home. So excited to get any sort of action here at the park, whether it's non-league or league action, and we'll have a good mix of that over the next 9-game homestand for you. 3 non-league games here, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're taking on the Everett Merchants tomorrow, and then Bombat Northwest on Thursday. It'll be a weekend series against the Port Angeles Lefties, followed by the 13th, which is our Community Champions game. And then after that, a couple more non-league matchups against the Cascade Collegiate League, the Dub C Fish Sticks, and Gunderson Baseball. So a good mix of opponents here in a couple of weeks in the middle of July. Of course, the All-Star break next week, and we had a couple of Bellingham Bells selected to the All-Star team. 5, in fact. Aspen Alexander selected as an infielder/outfielder. Charlie Decker, the pitcher, the only pitcher selected for Bellingham for the All-Star game. Jaden Jackson was selected in the outfield. Jake Lyle also got the nod at catcher, and then Noah Cassie was selected as an outfielder / first baseman for him. So a couple of all-star selections, some nods that will be playing out in Victoria next week. Exciting to have them get those selections. Leading us off here in the bottom of the first inning will be one of those all-stars, Jaden Jackson, the incoming UCLA freshman. Jackson will get us started for the Bells' home side of the first inning. Scoreless first toss by Cole Laubach in the Bells' defense, and now the left fielder who made the final out in the bottom half, or in the top half of the first, starts off the bottom half of the inning and grounds it to the shortstop, Young, who will retire Jaden Jackson with a throw over to first. And it's 1 pitch, 1 out, down for Jaden Jackson. String of all-stars starting us off here in the batting lineup. It is now Aspen Alexander set to bat. Dynamic middle infielder / outfielder for the Bells all summer, and starts in center field in this one. He'll be the second one up, facing the starting pitcher for the Northwest Star Nighthawks, Ethan Scott. Alexander having a good summer, a .303 batting average for him. He's cranked 3 home runs, a couple of those during the road trip. A total of 23 RBI to go along with 24 runs. Involved in a lot of run scoring for Bellingham this summer. So he takes a strike at the plate against Ethan Scott. The pitcher is a freshman from Clark College. Just finished up his first collegiate season after graduating from Heritage High School here in Washington State. Ball and a strike as Ethan Scott deals to Alexander, who swings through strike 2. After a first pitch ground out to Jaden Jackson, a good start in the right direction. Always tough for these non-league pitchers to come in and face these West Coast League hitters. Well, we'll see how the Nighthawks and how Ethan Scott fares here in Bellingham, a very pitcher-friendly park. 1-2 from Alexander, skied into left center field, headed into the gap, and it's actually going to drop over a diving center fielder's head. Alexander chugging into third base, and that is actually going to be an automatic double. It took a hard hop over the wall out in left center field, so it's an auto double for Alexander. After that, dropped in over the head of Yount, and the left fielder Anderson thought it maybe could have been routine, but instead it's a double for Alexander. Noah Cassie will bat, the first baseman. As we mentioned, a West Coast League All-Star. Chance to drive in a run with a man in scoring position now for Bellingham after the one-out double from Aspen Alexander. Alexander gets the first knock off of Ethan Scott. Now the power hitting Noah Cassie at the plate. Cassie leading the team with 6 home runs this year, and he's not just doing it with pop. He's also got the batting average to make it work. With a .330 on the season. He has produced on his swings as well. He'll try and score Alexander, who's off of second. Cassie taking strike 1. Hit on the ground, a diving stop from the shortstop Young. He'll throw to third to try and get Alexander, and they say he got him, and he did on a tag. Heads up play from the shortstop Young to make that play, or excuse me, Taylor to make that play. And there's 2 down for Matt Churchill. So Taylor, the shortstop, makes it a fielder's choice. That puts Noah Cassie at first base. That double washed away. 2 outs for Churchill. Maybe a guy you could say was snubbed from the All-Star game. Of course, there's only so many spots, especially for catchers, but Churchill having himself a great season here in Bellingham. .301 batting average for him. Has cooled off a little bit compared to the start of the season, and that is very true. Maybe could be a guy that we see get a late addition if there's an injury or a scratch, so it'll be fun to have him. There's a throw over to first where Noah Cassie is at. Churchill jammed on the inside of his bat for strike one as it's a foul ball back to the netting. Good crowd here at Joe Martin Field for the Bells' first home game in nearly 2 weeks. Always great deals here on Tuesdays at the park. Get buy one, get one free tickets or half-off tickets, however you want to look at it. Oh, that one past the first baseman Schiller on Churchill's ball put in play. Should have been routine. Cassie going to third. It's cut off by Taylor, and that error will extend the first.
Now batting for the Bells from Tulane University, third baseman, number 6, Nate Johnson.
Nate Johnson to bat for the Bells. Runners on the corners and 2 outs after an E3. Johnson takes the first pitch as the first inning continues on after the error. So now a hit and an error against Ethan Scott. Nate Johnson looking to drive in some runs. 304 average for him, 5 RBI. The Bells' third baseman. He takes a called strike, 1 ball and a strike with runners on the corners. Cassie at third, Churchill at first. Nate Johnson fifth in the order, fifth up here in the bottom of the first, trying to strike first against their non-league opponents. And these Northwest Star Nighthawks wearing their black tops and gray bottoms. Black ball caps for them. Bells in their home whites, which they've worn so much this year. And that pitch blocked by the catcher Cleaver behind the dish. The infield from left to right is Peterson, Taylor, Stein, and Schiller for the visitors. In the outfield, it's Anderson, Yount, and Dale. Cleaver doing the catching for Ethan Scott, the pitcher. 2-1 to Johnson, taken for a low strike. That tall 6'5" frame with a large strike zone for the Tulane sophomore. And a 2-2 count. Scott tries to get out of the first, keeping the Bells scoreless, despite the error that has put a runner on third. 2-2 breaking pitch, and Johnson offers at it. That'll be a strikeout, and that finishes a scoreless first by both teams. We go to the second here in Bellingham on a Tuesday evening in the West Coast League.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
At Judd & Black, great value comes with expert assistance. We're your hometown appliance store, where you can expect top-notch service and a wide selection of quality brands.
When you walk into a Judd & Black showroom, you can expect to see a very friendly face that's ready to help and figure out what you need.
Enjoy a shopping experience big box stores can't offer. Talk to an appliance expert at your hometown appliance store for over 85 years. Judd & Black.
When pain or injury slows you down, Peace Health Orthopedics, Sports Medicine, Foot and Ankle, and Trauma Services are here to help. Our experienced orthopedic team cares for bones, joints, and muscles, offering personalized treatment and same-day appointments. From everyday aches to unexpected injuries and joint replacement, Peace Health helps you move better, feel stronger, and get back to your life. Learn more about Peace Health Orthopedics at peacehealth.org. That's peacehealth.org. Joe Martin Field for the first time in a while, and it's a cloudy day here at the ballpark. Overcast, wind blowing in towards center field. A cool 69 degrees at the park. Thought it was going to be a bit warmer every day, but the cloud coverage came in and got us a cool afternoon for baseball here in the WCL. Non-league action here at the park, and a scoreless first by both sides send us into the second inning with Luke Porter doing the leading off for the Northwest Star Nighthawks. Cole Laubach, the starting pitcher for Bellingham, and a swing and a miss from the designated hitter out of Linfield College. Porter, junior there, just finished his junior season, played 16 games with Linfield. Batting average of a 179 for him. single, strikeout, and a fly out in the first as part of 3 batters faced for Cole Laubach. Gained it out with a caught stealing from Dylan Moss. 2-1 the count on the leadoff designated hitter as the 4, 5, and 6 batters come up for the Northwest Star Nighthawks, a team that always plays Bellingham as far as non-league goes, at least the last 4 years they have. Usually a very one-sided affair between these non-league opponents when it comes to the matchups in the WCL, but we have seen the Nighthawks shown the ability to beat a West Coast League team. We mentioned the Pippins. They took them down 13-7. The second matchup against Yakima Valley looked like the usual non-league result, with Yakima Valley beating Northwest Star a score of 14-1 back on July 1st. As Nate Johnson catches the pop-up in the infield, third baseman grabs the first out in the second. Liam Cleaver, the catcher, comes up. He's a guy that has West Coast League experience. 4 games with the Nanaimo Night Owls last year towards the end of the summer. Actually played against the Bellingham Bells here at Joe Martin Field. But he was 0 of 12 at the plate in that time. Did draw 2 walks with the Night Owls. Night Owls, a team that Bellingham just faced. Lost 2 of 3 against out on Vancouver Island as part of the 9-game road trip where the Bells went 2-7 on. It was a struggle on the road for Bellingham. First, the series in Victoria where Bellingham had a case where they could have won the North Division title had they won just 2 out of 3 against Victoria. Only won 1 and ended up in a tie for first place in the North first half with Wenatchee, and Apple Sox have the tiebreaker over us, so they got the automatic playoff berth early, and now Bellingham's trying to scrap together a way to be one of the qualifying teams down the stretch as we begin the month of July here in the WCL. It was a rough road trip. Got swept up in Edmonton. First sweep against Bellingham of the season. Were walked off in the series finale. Extra innings. Then went down to Nanaimo. Got walked off in extra innings there. Picked up a win and then fell in the rubber game on Sunday. Bellingham a record of 2-7 over the 9 games and now 20-13 on the year. As mentioned, third in the West Coast League behind Wenatchee and now Kelowna in front of Bellingham. As this is roped out to left field. Big swing from Cleaver back to the wall, and it's gone. The catcher, Liam Cleaver, takes Cole Laubach deep. And the Nighthawks are on the board first with a solo shot. Cleaver rounding the bases to a dead silent crowd here watching his ball fly over left field. Hey, it's hard to get the ball out of this ballpark, and he did just that. What a swing from Cleaver. When the Northwest Star Nighthawks took down the Yakima Valley Pippins, they had the help of 2 home runs from Luke Porter and Jacob Long. This time it's Liam Cleaver getting a hit. He was 0 of 6 in that Yakima Valley win. This chopped on the ground from Schiller, the first baseman. Laubach bobbling it. A throw to first is offline, and the pitcher will have the error. Disaster start here in the second for Cole Laubach and the Bellingham Bells. Down 1-0 after giving up the home run. Laubach can't field the play. The error makes it 1 out and runner on first. Already 1 across for the Nighthawks. Little mound visit here from Dylan Moss, the catcher, trying to settle down his pitcher after Laubach was tagged for the solo home run and then committed the error. Laubach in his inning and 2/3 with UC Santa Barbara this year surrendered 3 hits. Only one of them went for extra bases with a double and gave up 2 runs in the brief freshman year for him. Here at the Bellingham Bells in his fourth appearance of the summer. As Caleb Dale fouls back the first pitch, the right fielder out of Clark College, now batting with a runner on first and 1 out. 1-0 the lead for the Northwest Star Nighthawks. Oh, 1 as Dale takes it from the right-hander Laubach for ball 1. So a single and a home run for the 2 hits off Cole Laubach in this early start of the game. And right now, Nighthawks leading it 1-0. Breaking ball strike that time from Laubach for strike 2. These non-league games, you would think a good opportunity for Bellingham to kind of get the ball back on track after, losing 7 of their 9 road games up in Canada. The Nighthawks not going to make it easy on them. Morty, the solo homer from Cleaver in the inning. Ball and 2 strikes as Laubach throws. Misses low and away for ball 2. 3 straight non-league games here. You'd love to just win all 3. Feel good going into the weekend series against a league opponent, the Port Angeles Lefties, who sure are on the softer side of a matchup. But we've seen anything happen in some of these WCL matchups and even some of these non-league games. Around the league, these non-league teams have not been pushovers, although more times than not, WCL teams do come out on top, and it's usually by a good number. But Nighthawks broke through against Yakima Valley. So far today, an early 1-0 lead for them. Runner on first is Schiller. Reached on the air. Laubach tries to pick him off. Cassie, the first baseman, applying a tag that does not get Schiller, so he's still safe. Laubach's 2-2. Flown up and out of play off the right side. Dale hit 188 this year at the plate for Clark College. 26 starts for him in his freshman campaign. All of his 13 hits were singles. Drove in 11 runs and scored 17 himself. Another 2-2 this time. He swings and misses, and Laubach has his second strikeout of the outing. 2 down with a runner at first. After that strikeout from the right-hander, Laubach. Jack Peterson to bat for the first time as the third baseman comes up. Another Clark College product. He did not see much action, just 1 game appeared in. It'll be a redshirt season for Peterson. Swings the first pitch and golfs it into shallow center field. That drops in no man's land between Alexander and Peschke. And then the runner advancing to third, but a quick throw to the bag and a tag applied. He is out, sliding in. So a good recovery by Alexander from center field to gun down Schiller at third base. And it'll just be 1 run of damage off the solo home run from Liam Cleaver in the inning to head us into the bottom of the second with the Northwest Star Nighthawks up 1-0 on your Bellingham Bells.
What's up, Bells fans? Dr. Amar here from Everstrong Therapy, the sports and performance physical therapists and rehab professionals right here in Bellingham. We are so proud to continue being the official training and rehab partner of the Bellingham Bells, making sure our boys are safe and moving their best throughout the season. So remember, when you're ready to rehab like a professional athlete, come see us at Everstrong and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, stay Everstrong, and go Bells.
Bummer. This never happens at a convenient time, does it? It's always while you're hustling to meet a deadline or trying to enjoy the game. If only there were a way to outsource this and get back to what you were doing. Well, as a matter of fact, there is. Team Technology is local and employee-owned, balancing ease of access with security and compliance for the cloud and on-premise systems of small and large businesses alike. Connect with Team Technology and see how technology is easier with a team.
1-0 the lead for the Northwest Star Nighthawks after a solo home run from Liam Cleaver gets the visitors on the board here in this non-league contest. It'll be Bellingham chasing 1 into the bottom of the second. Plenty of time to rally against the starter, Ethan Scott, who they had 1 hit against in the first inning. Also had the benefit of an error on defense, but Bellingham couldn't get their first run of the game. And now they trail 1-0 entering the bottom of 2. Tyler Peschke to lead it off. Bell starting shortstop on the season, swinging a .207 stick so far. He's been a consistent starter for Bellingham, though, so the counting stats have been able to climb despite maybe the batting average lacking at times for him. First pitch is a breaking ball to Peschke for ball 1 outside from Scott. Ethan Scott picked up his one strikeout against Nate Johnson in the first inning to cap the first scoreless, stranding 2 runners on base and erasing the error that was on the first baseman Schiller. Peschke lines this one on a hard swing out to left field, and that'll be a base knock to start the second. So the tying run reaching instantly on a hard swing from Peschke.
University catcher number 10, Dylan Moss.
Dylan Moss now batting, the catcher today. Moss, a high school senior, headed to Stanford this year with Bellingham so far in the summer. There's been a quality mix for the catching spot between him, Jake Lyle, and Matt Churchill. So pickoff throw goes over to first base where Tyler Peschke is back safely. Moss, a straight up .250 batting average. 1 in 4 plate appearances to get a hit for him. Peschke a leadoff single, and now Moss trying to help Bells answer the 1 run from the Nighthawks in the second inning. Moss, a catcher out of IMG Academy, Florida. Big swing from him as it heads out to left center field. The hat falls off of Will Anderson, who moved to his left, and a step in front of the warning track. He grabs the first out in the inning. A hard hit fly ball from Dylan Moss to retire him. And welcoming back to Bellingham, Washington, it is Romanick Keebon. Keebon getting the start in right field for Bellingham this year. Was a center fielder last year, a left fielder, but he's out in right today. Keebon wearing the number 1 opposed to his number 21 that he wore back in 2025 with the Bells. Was such a big part of the postseason push by Bellingham. Of course, had the memorable moment here at the Joe, delivering a walk-off hit up the middle that scored Blake Baltz in a walk-off win over the Wenatchee Apple Sox in the opening round of the West Coast League playoffs in 2025. Without that swing from Keebon, the Bells don't go on to win the West Coast League title. He also had a great collegiate season this year at Nevada. .342 average for him in 50 games with the Wolfpack. This is his first game back in Bellingham. He's committed to the University of Washington, likely a dream come true from a kid here out of Washington from Mountain Lake Terrace High School. Total of 50 games played for Nevada for Keebon. A .342 average to go along with 47 runs scored in those 50 games. Batting 8th in the order here as he makes his debut for the 2026 season. Jammed and popped up shallow left side towards the dugout of the Nighthawks and dropping it in between a couple of Nighthawks right in front of their dugout. Just off the left side of your screen for a strike to Keebon. So a ball and 2 strikes. Ball and 2 strikes on Keebon. Some outfield depth for Bellingham after Jorge Oliveira Gutierrez is now finished for the season. No longer with the team after suffering with an injury. So need the outfield depth, and Keebon finding a spot here in Bellingham. And he takes a strike called against him. He goes down looking for the second out. It's a second strikeout for Ethan Scott here in the start. Now Rashad Hayes will bat. Second baseman today. Stanford infielder. Seen him play shortstop and second base, but with Peschke at short, Hayes gets the nod at second base. Bottom of the order hitter with a runner at first after Peschke's leadoff single. Back-to-back outs for Bellingham's batters. Ethan Scott trying to not surrender any runs, and once again strand some base runners for Bellingham as the Nighthawks lead at 1-0. Hayes, not too many games played with Bellingham so far in the summer, but the time he has been put in the starting lineup, been productive. .283 batting average for him, and been productive with 9 runs, 7 RBI for him. So he takes a breaking pitch in from Scott for a strike. Hayes, a total of 13 games played for the Bells this summer. A lot of infield depth here on the team with KG Hattori, Tyler Peschke, Aspen Alexander. Nate Johnson taking the starting role at third base has forced Tyler Peschke into more of an everyday role at shortstop, and then it's been between Rashad Hayes and Aspen Alexander kind of splitting second base, with Hattori giving some off days to Peschke at short. 2-1 the count on Hayes as fastball goes outside, called for a strike. And now 2-2 against Hayes. 2 hits and 14 at-bats for Hayes for Stanford this year. A brief freshman year with the Cardinal. A 2-2 from Scott in the dirt, bounces, and the runner will stay at first. Tyler Peschke. Peschke led off this frame with a leadoff single. Second hit off of Ethan Scott, but Nighthawks right-hander strike away from a scoreless second and holding on to a 1-0 lead after the solo home run in the top of this inning. Full count runner will get an early start. Hayes pops it up right side. Foul territory for Schiller, the first baseman, but well over the fence off the right side here at Joe Martin Field. Pretty sizable foul territory for the ballpark, but that one well out of play, and Hayes stays alive in a 3-2 count. Peschke will get an early jump once again as another 3-2 pitch comes. Hayes takes that one low and will have the 2-out walk. First walk issued by Ethan Scott, and Jane Jackson, after going down on one pitch, will look to have a good at-bat here in his second time through already in the second inning. Jackson, of course, a West Coast League All-Star. He's been one of the Bells' best in a brief period of time. Batting average a little bit lower than when we saw him swinging it hot in his first week of the season here in Bellingham, but still a quality .284 hitter through 16 games, and you can see the RBI and runs number as well for him. 16 ribbies, 15 runs. Well-deserving all-star for him, a .402 on-base percentage as well for this leadoff batter. Awkward check swing from him, and he goes around frustrated on strike 2 from him. Not committed to that swing and chased it. You can see an adjustment period for some of the batters when they're facing some of these non-league pitchers. Ethan Scott right there at a 68-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Just not what you're used to seeing, even in the West Coast League against some of the lower arms. It's not necessarily that slow at times. Scott there with his fastball in the low 80s to mid-80s. 84 on that delivery from him. So far has made it work. Holding the Bells scoreless. Runners at first and second with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Walk and a hit in the inning. Tyler Peschke, the tying run off of second. Go-ahead run and Hayes at first. Jane Jackson after a ground out to the shortstop Taylor in his first at-bat in a 1-2 count. Breaking ball, early swing and foul. So another 1-2 coming against the Bells left fielder as Scott set on the rubber. Delivers the 1-2 home to Jackson, and it's a breaking ball outside for ball 2. "12 walks for Jackson on the summer to go along with 19 hits. Scott already a pair of Ks on the mound, is 2-2. Jackson skies it to center field. Back is Yount. It'll be a routine fly ball to center field to strand 2 runners on once again in an inning for Bellingham. And we go to the third. Northwest Star Nighthawks lead your Bells 1-0 entering the third.
Washington homeowners are saving thousands of dollars on their energy bill by upgrading their home. And the best part is, CNGC is giving back even more money when you switch to a more efficient alternative. So you can enjoy increased property value, a higher quality of life with better appliances, and greater comfort for your family. Scan this QR code or go to cngc.com and save money on your energy bill.
Choose cooperative. Choose community. Bank with local industrial credit union. Proud Sunday savings sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. If you live, work, or attend school in Washington, you can join a credit union that puts people first. Local decisions, personalized service, and a real commitment to our community. Learn more at industrialcu.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. Into the third inning here at Joe Martin Field, and right now it's the Northwest Star Nighthawks leading your Bellingham Bells in a non-league matchup on this Tuesday evening. First time seeing the Bells in a while. First time since the end of June. Feels like a entirely new start to the season. Feels like a new opening day having Bellingham back here playing some baseball, but Bells a non-league opponent. They do trail at 1-0. Good thing is maybe if you do struggle in some of these non-league games, it doesn't hurt your record at all. It doesn't hurt your standings. But, of course, hurts the ego a little bit, especially against a team you feel like you should be beating, as this ball is flown over the Bells' dugout for an early strike against the leadoff man, Will Anderson. Will Anderson facing Cole Laubach, the Bells starter, here into the third inning. Laubach surrendered the solo home run in the second inning. They got the Northwest Star Nighthawks up 1-0. Liam Cleaver's solo homer over the left field fence. Inside pitch to Anderson is a ball and a strike. These non-league games do give room for players to work on things, though. You have the freedom of the record not necessarily mattering, as Anderson lines this into right center field for a leadoff single. You can work on some of those pitches. You can throw guys out there that maybe have been struggling in their league outings, and now the coaching staff can feel a little bit more free to toss guys out there to say, hey, try to make it work. Try to figure out your grip on this pitch in a game setting, because you can only replicate so many things in a bullpen or, in the cage. So for these non-league games, it's a bit of more stress-free environment for the players to truly develop. Although, the West Coast League at its heart is a developmental league, but obviously everyone wants to win. Sure, everyone out there on the field wants to win these games too, but if you don't, well, at least it doesn't hurt your league schedule. At least it doesn't hurt your playoff chances. It's a good chance for not only the Bells to try and work on things, but the Nighthawks to kind of showcase themselves here in the WCL, try and match up against the talent. Cole Laubach ahead of Yount 0-2. He had a leadoff single to start this game against Laubach, one of the 4 hits against the righty. Will Anderson with the leadoff hit here in this frame. Now Drew Yount taking a ball high. He hit .252 this year with Clark College. Led the team in runs with 35. In part thanks to his .457 on base percentage. And his 12 steals getting him in scoring position. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. Strike him out. Throw him out. Dylan Moss, another cut, stealing down, guns down Anderson. And there's 2 outs in the inning off just 1 pitch. So Emmett Stein now will bat with 2 outs, and the bases wiped empty on that strike him out, throw him out. One of the more electric double plays that you can get. That might be my favorite. I'm trying to think of other good double plays that they are. It's got to be a strike him out, throw him out, because you get the pitcher involved, you get the catcher involved, the infield involved with a tag. Want to know a foul tip from Stein? At Linfield College this year, he was just 6 of 23 in 15 games. Did get on base at a .452 clip thanks to 7 walks in the limited time that he had with Linfield. His first season out of Skyview High School here in Washington State. 1-1 misses inside to him for ball 2. Laback missing up and in. Behind on Stein, 3-1. So far, the Bells right-hander yet to walk someone. The 3-1 pitch taken all the way by the second baseman Stein, and he'll take the 2-out walk. Two outs, a base runner gets on for the shortstop, Caden Taylor. Taylor had a long at-bat in the first inning, but finished it off with a shallow fly ball to left field that capped a scoreless first inning for Cole Laback. Solo homer in the second, having the Nighthawks up 1-0. Laback trying to get another scoreless frame in his start. It's fouled away by Taylor on the first pitch to him. Caden Taylor, a good year at Clark this year. First team All-Region, first team All-NWAC. He was also named to the Pacific Association All-America third team. So an All-American along with his All-Conference honors. Weak grounder in play to Nate Johnson. The third baseman rips it across to Noah Cassie. That'll be the scoreless third for Bellingham. They still trail it 1-0 over the Northwest Star Nighthawks as we head into the bottom of the third.
Have you had a fall, sprain, or break? Skip the emergency room and go straight to the experts, Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons. With walk-in, same-day orthopedic care, you won't have to wait for the treatment you need. And to better serve our community, we've extended our walk-in clinic hours, 1 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons.
Puget Sound Energy is thrilled to team up with the Bellingham Bells for Community Wednesdays this season. Every Wednesday home game at Joe Martin Field, PSC and the Bells will celebrate a featured Whatcom County nonprofit with a $2,000 donation. Come out to the ballpark to cheer on the Bells while supporting these amazing organizations that make our community stronger. Together, we're building a better Whatcom County. See you at the field. Go Bells. Bottom three in a non-league matchup between the Northwest Star Nighthawks and the Bellingham Bells here at Joe Martin Field on a Tuesday evening, getting us started on a 9-game homestand here at the ballpark, coming right after a 9-game road trip for the Bellingham Bells. 3 non-league games here to start the week. The Northwest Star Nighthawks today, they're leading at 1-0 over the Bellingham Bells, but it will be Aspen Alexander leading things off in the third, and he had a double ripped for an automatic double over the left center field wall back in the first inning. One of the 4 hits off of the starter Ethan Scott. Alexander, one of the Bellingham Bells' 5 All-Stars this year. As Alexander takes the first pitch high. All-Star selections were announced earlier today, in fact. Bells had 5 selections. Alexander, one of them, as GCU freshman, has impressed so far in Bellingham, and excited to see these guys represent the Bells out in Victoria. The Harbor Cats hosting the All-Star game for the first time after back-to-back seasons of the game being hosted here in Bellingham. The All-Star game returned back in 2024. Bells hosted it 2 years in a row in 2025, and Victoria now set for the 2026 All-Star game next week. Strike one into Alexander. 2 balls and a strike on the starting center fielder for Bellingham. After not playing for GCU at all in his freshman year, Alexander definitely picking up some momentum headed in to his second season with the Lopes. Oh, that's a given strike to Scott, high and away for strike 2. So So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Aspen Alexander. A Lake Stevens High School product. Your local in Washington State. Two-two pitch to the leadoff man for Bellingham in the third. High fly ball from him to left, but it'll be Will Anderson to his right. Backs up onto the warning track to make the catch. Another well-struck ball by Alexander, but he was just under that one. Anderson retires him. Noah Cassie will bat after reaching on a fielder's choice. Scott's first pitch to the first baseman is swung on and missed by Cassie. Last season in the WCL, Cassie hit .310, had 7 doubles, a triple, a home run. Got on base at a great clip. Played 30 games total for Bellingham. Wasn't an all-star, though. Maybe could have been a guy in contention for one of those spots. But the biggest part of his production came towards the back end of the season. And Cassie, though, this year has impressed and got an all-star nod for the first time in his WCL career. It'll be fun to see him. I think that they're doing a home run derby out in Victoria. And Cassie's a guy that maybe you should put your money on if you're talking about potential winners of that, if he decides to participate. Breaking pitch outside to Cassie, so a ball and 2 strikes on the Bell's first baseman with 1 out in the bottom of the third. 1-0 the lead for the Northwest Star Nighthawks here early in a non-league matchup. It's the non-league opponents leading Bellingham. Big deep breath from Ethan Scott before his 1-2. 1 out breaking pitch, well away to Cassie for ball 2. Two after the miss to Cassie and the 1 out pitch from Scott. Fouled off. Today, the West Coast League outlined kind of everything that's going to be going on during the All-Star break. The Home Run Derby at Wilson's Group Stadium at Royal Athletic Park will be July 14th, 6:35. The former major leaguer Kevin Pillar is going to headline the event. The All-Star game itself is set for the 15th as Cassie grounds this to the third baseman Peterson. A throw across the diamond, up the line, but stretch from Schiller at first base to get the out. 2 up, 2 down to start the third. Along with Kevin Pillar, he'll join some professional scouts, as well as Hall of Fame inductee Marty Wolliver and Victoria head coach and former MLB player Todd Haney for a hot stove panel at 9 p.m. in Studio 919 at the Strathcona Hotel. Admission is $10 to that. There will also be an all-star luncheon at 11:30 on the 15th of July, that Wednesday. Wolliver will be the keynote speaker. Limited tickets available to the public for that one. And, of course, first pitch between the North and South Divisions set for 6:35 on the 15th of July. Bellingham will be playing the Dub C Fish Sticks during that day. Non-league matchup against the Pacific International League team. Churchill fly ball towards the dugout, and Schiller snagged it over the fence just off the right of your screen, reached over the wall, and in foul territory gets the third out. So a 1-2-3 third, go down the Bells, and we go to the 4th inning. 1-0, the Nighthawks leading the Bells.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
At Judd and Black, great value comes with expert assistance. We're your hometown appliance store where you can expect top-notch service and a wide selection of quality brands.
When you walk into a Judd and Black showroom, you can expect to see a very friendly face that's ready to help and figure out what you need.
Enjoy a shopping experience big box stores can't offer. Talk to an appliance expert at your hometown appliance store for over 85 years. Judd and Black.
Fourth inning here in Bellingham, Washington, and a new pitcher onto the hill for the Bells after a 3-inning start from Cole Laubach. He will be replaced by the left-hander Cole Anderson. A 1-0 lead for the Northwest Star Nighthawks heading into the fourth inning here. Cole Laubach surrendering that one run on one of his 2 hits allowed, with it being a solo home run to Liam Cleaver, who we will see bat in this inning. Laubach, the total of 3 innings pitched. He struck out 3 batters with a K in each frame. 1 walk issued from him. Passes to Cole Anderson, who will get his 3rd appearance of the summer. Anderson, a 1-0 record as left-handed pitcher here with the Bells. He's got quite the backstory, which we'll get into. Leading off will be the designated hitter, Luke Porter, to start things off. But when we look at Cole Anderson, trying to classify him when you talk about, a junior from, a senior from. He's a sophomore, I guess you could say, from South Mountain Community College. But the thing is, his most recent pitching outing in his collegiate career was 2024. So what happened with Cole Anderson? So he pitched for South Mountain Community College in the 2023 season. 6 2/3 innings, not much. He gave up 7 runs on 6 walks, 10 hits, only had 4 strikeouts. And Anderson actually switched sports after the 2023 season. In 2024, he played on the South Mountain basketball team for the community college. Only averaged 2.2 points per game, but got to throw in some more bullpens, got back into baseball, got his fastball velo up, and now here in Bellingham, maybe trying to kind of treat the WCL as a performance for maybe a college team to pick him up. When you think about eligibility, he should have 3 years left. Would be going into a technical sophomore season, although I don't know how it works when you play multiple sports, if that burns an extra year of eligibility, but I don't think it does. So Cole Anderson returning to baseball with the Bellingham Bells. He's gotten 2 outings so far. Lefty so far has allowed 2 runs, just one of them earned, though, in 3 frames. 1 hit, but 6 walks allowed from Anderson. So hasn't necessarily given up contact, but just needs to find the strike zone a few more times. And against Porter, he's ahead 1-2 and gets a swinging strikeout. His 4th of the summer and first in this relief outing to start the 4th inning. And Cleaver now back up after his solo homer in the 2nd. Now, while we were on the topic of the All-Star game, might as well look at the full rosters. We mentioned the Bellingham Bells players that are going to be represented. Jake Lyle, one of the catchers, one of the 2 catchers. There's only 2 catcher spots, which kind of makes you realize, Matt Churchill must have been the odd man out. Although Carter Enoch from the Port Angeles Lefties is the other catcher representative for the North. Also in the North, some 3 first basemen selected, Landon White, Ethan Wood, and Easton Andrews. You can also think of Noah Cassie as a first baseman, but I think just to squeeze Noah Cassie onto the All-Star rosters, they classified him as an outfielder because he plays both positions. He's obviously primarily a first baseman. We're seeing him there today, but Wenatchee's Landon White at first, along with the Port Angeles Lefties, Ethan Wood, and Edmonton Riverhawks, Easton Andrews. From Victoria at second base, David Cron is going to be represented alongside Aspen Alexander at second base. The third baseman selected from Victoria was Matthew Wesley. At shortstop, the 2 selections to the All-Star game, Jacob Loving from Kelowna, Shiryu Sato from Edmonton. And you have the outfield with Jaden Jackson, Noah Cassie of Bellingham, Cade Crawford of Kamloops, Ethan Reynolds of Nanaimo, Kainoa Santiago of Wenatchee, and Evan Dugdale of Kamloops. Cleaver takes the walk against Anderson. 1 out, free pass issued from the Bells lefty. Looking at the pitchers, there's 9 selections, so everyone gets 1 inning. It's a fair distribution of innings pitched in the All-Star game that way. Jeremiah Arnett from Victoria was selected, along with his teammate Eric Rico. Clinton Beck from Wenatchee selected alongside his teammate Joe Thornton. Charlie Decker, of course, of the Bellingham Bells. Carter Fink from Edmonton, as well as David Shepard, a Riverhawk, being represented. Jackson McDonald, the Nanaimo Night Owls pitcher, picked. And then Seth Summer from the Kelowna Falcons. That's the North All-Star rosters. Schiller pops this one up foul. Left side, Nate Johnson gets it in foul territory to get the second out.
Now batting for the Nighthawks, number 14, Caleb Dale.
Caleb Dale struck out swinging in his first at-bat. He'll now come to bat with 2 outs and a runner at first. Looking at the South All-Stars, representing the catcher spot is Parker Burt from Yakima Valley, Martin Serrano from Marion. At first base is J.T. Summers out of Ridgefield, Peyton Knowles from Walla Walla, Nick Velazquez from Yakima Valley, and Tanner Johns from Portland. Second base position, Daichi Furuhata from Yakima Valley, as well as Sawyer Nelson from Marion. The third baseman is Matthew Major. Elijah Mitchell, the shortstop out of Portland, being selected. In the outfield is Isaiah Hearn from Ridgefield, Sam Kane of Walla Walla, Max Medina from Corvallis, Dimitri Sudisco from Bend, Zach Wattis from Ridgefield. As far as pitchers go for the South, Morgan Cadrone out of Corvallis, Kurt Ellis from Walla Walla, Rafael Espinoza from Portland, Zach Fetchel from Portland, Jordan Haver from Ridgefield, Parker Heinz also from the Raptors, Michael Klein from Springfield, Nathaniel Kirano from Yakima Valley, Charles Rogers from Walla Walla, and Perry Stow from Walla Walla in the Sweets. The All-Star selections as this is grounded past the diving Peschke into left field, and it'll be a 2-out knock for Dale to put runners at first and second for the Nighthawks. Already a 1-0 lead, and with 2 down, trying to add to it with Peterson coming to bat. Jack Peterson, a single back in the second, but on that hit, the 3rd out in the inning was recorded after Schiller was gunned down trying to advance to third base. 5 total hits for the Nighthawks so far off of Bell's pitching. Walking a single against the new arm for Bellingham, Cole Anderson. First pitch in there for a strike. Last time pitching for Anderson came on the first up at Edmonton. Inning and a third pitch for the left-hander. He gave up 2 runs on just 1 hit against the Riverhawks as part of an 8-3 loss in Game 2 of the series against the Riverhawks. He's got a strikeout, walk, and a hit so far in this 4th inning. His first relieving Cole Laubach, the starter for Bellingham. Exited after just 1 run allowed on the solo homer. Pickoff throw goes back to second base where Cleaver's at. He's the man who hit that home run. The home run that gave these visiting Nighthawks a 1-0 lead here in a non-league contest in Bellingham. Strike 2 on the outside to Peterson, 86 on his fastball. Trying to strand 2 base runners. He'll step off the rubber and reset with 2 outs. Ball and 2 strikes on Jack Peterson. One, 2 from Anderson. Taken high for a ball. Not sure where that one missed, but Anderson will fall into an even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Peterson, a gift of life with 2 down. Trying to drive in his teammates off of first and second. Inside strike 3, that one called and given to Cole Anderson. He gets 2 strikeouts in the 4th for a scoreless inning. It's still 1-0. Bells chasing 1 into the bottom of the 4th inning here at Joe Martin Field.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
At Judd & Black, great value comes with expert assistance. We're your hometown appliance store where you can expect top-notch service and a wide selection of quality brands.
When you walk into a Judd & Black showroom, you can expect to see a very friendly face that's ready to help and figure out what you need.
Enjoy a shopping experience big box stores can't offer. Talk to an appliance expert at your hometown appliance store for over 85 years. Judd & Black.
When pain or injury slows you down, Peace Health Orthopedics, Sports Medicine, Foot and Ankle, and Trauma Services are here to help. Our experienced orthopedic team cares for bones, joints, and muscles, offering personalized treatment and same-day appointments. From everyday aches to unexpected injuries and joint replacement, Peace Health helps you move better, feel stronger, and get back to your life. Learn more about Peace Health Orthopedics at peacehealth.org. That's peacehealth.org. Back in Bellingham, Washington, as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning here at the ballpark. 1-0 the lead for the Northwest Star Nighthawks over your Bellingham Bells. As Ethan Scott, the pitcher out of Clark College, back out for another inning in this start. So far, he's tossed 3 scoreless and looking to keep the Bells off the scoreboard as we go into the bottom of the fourth inning. Nate Johnson, Tyler Peschke, and Dylan Moss to bat for your Bellingham Bells in the inning. So far, there's been base runners in all but the third inning for Bellingham, but nothing across. 2 hits off of Scott, and a 1-2-3 third from him his last time up on the hill. He'll face Nate Johnson to start the bottom of the fourth with a narrow 1-0 lead. Johnson struck out swinging against Scott back in the first inning. Now he'll lead off the fourth. Chops the first pitch down the first base line. Schiller will tag his own bag and sit down Johnson on just one pitch. Tyler Peschke, after a leadoff single in the second, was left on base. Now with 1 out, he'll come up looking to reach once again in front of Dylan Moss in the on-deck circle. Peschke headed to UCLA after a JUCO season where he hit .400, slugged .594 with 16 doubles, 2 triples, and 5 home runs. Scott's breaking ball with 1 out is strike 1 dropped in there against Peschke. Two hits and a walk. The base runners for Bellingham off this starter for the Nighthawks. He has just 2 strikeouts so far through 3 1/3. He's retired the last 5 Bells that he has faced, though, here across the second and now into the fourth. Breaking pitch in there for strike 2 against Peschke. Ball and 2 strikes as the right-hander throws home and pulls it away for ball 2. Peschke initially out of Fountain Valley High School down in California. He's been Division I talent since he was in high school. Was originally committed to New Mexico State. Ended up going to the JUCO route and now back on the D1 track towards UCLA. He swings at the breaking ball for a strikeout. It'll be the third K for Scott. Second time getting the bell to swing and miss on a strikeout. And now 2 up, 2 down to start the fourth to face Dylan Moss. Dylan Moss, the catcher to bat, flew out to left his last time. 1-0 the lead for the Northwest Star Nighthawks. Their starter Ethan Scott so far dealing. That 85-mile-an-hour fastball misses low. He doesn't agree as he shakes his head before he gets back up onto the hill. Thought he dotted it. One-0 hit foul for Moss for a strike. One breaking ball misses away. Scott trying to get another 1-2-3 inning after shutting down the Bells in the third. Here's his 2-1 to Moss. Pulls it away. Now 3-1. So Moss trying to extend this inning with a walk to pass the baton to Ramanik Kebon, who waits on deck. The Clark College freshman so far has worked well against Bellingham. Needs a zone here in a 3-1 pitch. Moss hits it, chopping to Peterson at third. The third baseman's throw across to Schiller is snared at first, and that'll be another 1-2-3 frame. Bellingham down 1-0 as we go to the fifth.
What's up, Bells fans? Dr. Amar here from Everstrong Therapy, the sports and performance physical therapists and rehab professionals right here in Bellingham. We are so proud to continue being the official training and rehab partner of the Bellingham Bells, making sure our boys are safe and moving their best throughout the season. So remember, when you're ready to rehab like a professional athlete, come see us at Everstrong, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, stay Everstrong, and go Bells.
Bummer. This never happens at a convenient time, does it? It's always while you're hustling to meet a deadline or trying to enjoy the game. If only there were a way to outsource this and get back to what you were doing. Well, as a matter of fact, there is. Team Technology is local and employee-owned, balancing ease of access with security and compliance for the cloud and on-premise systems of small and large businesses alike. Connect with Team Technology and see how technology is easier with a team.
Puget Sound Energy is thrilled to team up with the Bellingham Bells for Community Wednesdays this season. Every Wednesday home game at Joe Martin Field, PSC and the Bells will celebrate a featured Whatcom County nonprofit with a $2,000 donation. Come out to the ballpark to cheer on the Bells while supporting these amazing organizations that make our community stronger. Together, we're building a better Whatcom County. See you at the field. Go Bells. Hey, if you didn't hear enough fireworks last week, we've got a firework night here at the ballpark over the weekend. Saturday against the Port Angeles Lefties, a 6:35 start time. Fireworks following the game. Just our second of 3 firework nights on the season. If you missed the one back during the home opening series, make sure to catch this weekend here, July 11th against the Port Angeles Lefties. Your other chance to see fireworks at the park will be on a Wednesday, August 5th against the Edmonton Riverhawks. Here in the 5th inning, so far it's been Nighthawks holding on to a 1-0 lead against your Bellingham Bells, and Cole Anderson will try and keep the visitors in check after tossing a scoreless fourth that featured 2 punch-outs for the lefty. He now comes home to start the 5th inning in relief. Throws the first pitch in the dirt. So Anderson, the left-handed pitcher, with 2 punch-outs, 1 walk, 1 hit allowed. Back in the 4th, but the scoreless outing for him. Now he'll try and keep the things moving in the right direction for this 5th inning. So he faces Will Anderson, who leads it off. Will Anderson, the left fielder, is currently a high school junior headed into his senior season, if you can't believe it. Out of La Center High School here, playing for the Northwest Star Nighthawks. I mean, this is an academy team. He sends a deep fly ball towards Aspen Alexander, who had to sprint back and hustle to get it on a fly out to center field. Well hit, but it'll be an out to start the 5th. It'll be the Nighthawks center fielder now batting. Drew Yount, a freshman from Clark College, so far 1 of 2 with a single and a strikeout. Anderson missing on his first pitch to the Nighthawks leadoff man. Yount initially out of Tahoma High School here in Washington. Two 2-0 after a pair of misses from the Bell's left-handed pitcher. The baseball player turned basketball player to back to baseball here in Bellingham with his first collegiate action pitching since 2023 when he pitched for South Mountain Community College. Trying to revive his potential baseball career. So far 3-0 as he looks for the zone. Gets his 85-mile-an-hour fastball in there for strike 1. Anderson, initially out of Arizona, went to Ironwood Ridge High School. He 5-pitch walks Yount here with 1 out in the 5th. Second walk issued from Anderson. And it's Stein, the second baseman, now to bat for the 3rd time. Strikeout and a walk for him. This Nighthawks Academy team and the overall Northwest Star Academy program was established by Jerry Gatto. The goal was to help young athletes through the game of baseball, raising them through baseball and into the local community down in South Washington. Plenty of levels to the Northwest Star Academy. You kind of climb your way up to making it to where some of these players are now with the Nighthawks. You start in the 14U division, then up to 16U. Then you play with the Northwest Star Mavericks, who are an 18U Academy team. It's kind of similar to, a recent development from the Bellingham Bells, bringing on the Select program. Kind of could act like a feeder system into the Raptors, which are the overhead team that kind of represents what the Northwest Star Nighthawks are in their academy program, in the same way that the Bells Northwest Select team kind of now is a thing underneath the Bellingham Bells, but not necessarily directly tied to them as a farm system or something. But there's going to be players coming up through that system, and I mean, hey, let's get them playing here in Bellingham. Why not? Three and 1 to Stein. A high miss. Back-to-back 5-pitch walks, but runners on first and second. So Cole Anderson trying to find the strike zone with 1 out on top of the 5th after getting his first batter out. Pair of walks to put 2 on for the Northwest Star Nighthawks. Caden Taylor to bat. First pitch wide. Taylor, a batter that could hurt you. Led Clark College in doubles with 11 and had 36 RBI in his freshman year. Jim Clem going to come out to the mound to talk it over with the lefty, who has missed on a string of pitches. Jim Clem, the Bells pitching coach here in another season with the Bellingham Bells. Been a constant for Bellingham's coaching staff, where at times maybe the head coaching spot has been a revolving door, but Jim Clem staying steady always with the Bellingham Bells. Joined the team back in 2011. 2023, he himself was the head coach, but in 2024, stepped back for a season, returned back with the Bells last season and helped lead one of the best pitching staffs to a West Coast League championship. Out there talking with Will Anderson after a pair of walks and then a first pitch miss to Caden Taylor. Nighthawks in control so far this game with a 1-0 lead over the Bellingham Bells. Have a chance to add to it with only one out and runners at first and second. First pitch after the meeting. Delivers a strike, so now 1-1. That one taken for strike 2. And Anderson, after the mound visit, has delivered 2 straight strikes. Get ahead with a ball and 2 strikes now on Caden Taylor, the shortstop. Fly out and a ground out for him so far in the ball game. One, two. Thought about going, but held it back. Takes ball 2 to draw it even against Cole Anderson. Laubach got us started for the first 3 innings, gave up the 1 run on a solo homer. Anderson a scoreless 4th, but traffic here in the 5th. 1 out, runners at first and second for the Northwest Star Nighthawks. Swing and a miss, and Anderson gets a much-needed strikeout for the 2nd out in the 5th. He's now got 3 punch-outs in his relief outing. That's approaching now 2 innings. Luke Porter looking to do some damage for the Nighthawks. 4 RBI for Linfield College in 16 games this year. The DH has gone 0 of 2 so far in Bellingham tonight. Popped up to the infielder Nate Johnson at third base. Struck out as the first batter that Cole Anderson faced in the 4th inning. Lefty on lefty matchup starts with ball 1 from Cole Anderson. Porter in the driver's seat after another miss, 2-0. Last season, Porter hit .287 with Linfield, had 12 home runs and 41 RBI. Was selected to the All-Northwest Conference 2nd team. Did not play back in 2024, his first year with Linfield. After coming to Linfield from IMG Academy, same spot where Dylan Moss is a product of, the catcher right behind the dish where Porter bats from. Up and in on him, so 3-0. Porter takes a high strike. Up and in on the DH for strike 1. Now a 3-1 count on Porter, the DH. Already 2 walks in the inning, 1 strikeout. 2 outs in the 5th. Anderson's pitch. Outside, Porter nearly twirled the bat away, but now it'll be a full count. Good recovery after going down 3-0 for Anderson to now force some action. With a full count and 2 outs, the 2 base runners will get a jump start. Good chance for Porter to drive in some runs if he gets the bat. And onto the ball for a base knock. 5 hits so far in the game for the Nighthawks, out hitting the Bells 5-2. Right now, the visitors leading it 1-0 in this non-league contest. Runners go in the 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Anderson gets the strikeout he needed to finish the 5th. Back-to-back Ks from the left-hander to toss 2 scoreless innings. It's still, though, a 1-0 lead for the Nighthawks as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning here at Joe Martin Field.
Washington homeowners are saving thousands of dollars on their energy bill by upgrading their home. And the best part is, CNGC is giving back even more money when you switch to a more efficient alternative. So you can enjoy increased property value, a higher quality of life with better appliances, and greater comfort for your family. Scan this QR code or go to cngc.com and save money on your energy bill.
Choose cooperative. Choose community. Bank with local industrial credit union. Proud Sunday savings sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. If you live, work, or attend school in Washington, you can join a credit union that puts people first. Local decisions, personalized service, and a real commitment to our community. Learn more at industrialcu.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. Into the bottom of the fifth inning at Joe Martin Field. A 1-0 lead right now for the Northwest Star Nighthawks. And Ethan Scott right now going to retake the mound for the fifth, try and get himself in line for a win if he can hold on to this narrow one-run lead. So far, just 59 pitches for the starting right-hander for the Nighthawks as he goes into the bottom of the fifth. And he's been working very well over the last two frames. You would think maybe, second time through the order, Bells start to see some success, but it's been the exact opposite. Traffic all throughout the first time facing Ethan Scott, but since it's flipped over for the second time, the lineup card that is, it's been nothing but zeros, nothing but perfect pitching from Scott. Since Jackson batted for the second time this game back in the second inning, it has been 7 straight outs gained by Ethan Scott. Now he'll face Raonic Kebon and Rashad Hayes for the second time before that lineup card once more flips over to Jaden Jackson, who will bat third in the inning. Kebon struck out looking in his first at-bat back here in Bellingham after a summer with the Bells last year that was highlighted by his postseason run that he had, delivering the walk-off hit against Wenatchee, helping the Bells to the championship game. Swung a hot bat in the Edmonton game as well to send the Bells to the championship game against Portland. Maybe not a big outing for him in the actual WCL title game, but helped get us there in a key cog of the championship last year. Great to have him back in Bellingham. After strike one against him, he takes a breaking ball low for ball one. And you got to talk about a guy that's coming off such an awesome year with Nevada, which is a Division I program. Hit .342 at times throughout the season, was flirting with the 400 mark. And that's across 50 games for Kebon. He'll head to the University of Washington for his senior season after starting his career at Lassen College, where he was a first-team All-Golden Valley selection back in 2025 and in 2024. Was selected to the Northern California All-Region second team in 2025 after hitting .370 that year. The collegiate season right before he came to the Bellingham Bells in 2025. Initially out of Mount Lake Terrace High School. First-team All-Wesco League selection in his career back when he was a senior. 2 balls and 2 strikes as the sun peeks through the clouds here at Joe Martin Field. Kebon foul tips it. Stay even, stay alive against Ethan Scott, who's found nothing but success so far over the last 2 innings. Back-to-back 1-2-3 frames pitched by him to keep it at a 1-0 lead for the Nighthawks. And so far, Northwest Star just rolling with their starter. 2-2 breaking ball. On the ground, chop to Stein, and the second baseman will retire Kebon. Rashad Hayes for the second time after walking. Hayes here in Bellingham, the great Pacific Northwest. Spot for him during the summer after being an Oakland guy at Bishop O'Dowd High School down in California. Playing with Stanford. Moves up a couple states north here for his summer in the WCL. One out in the fifth for Hayes as Scott faces him for the second time and delivers strike one. Not too many arms for this Nighthawks team. So you got to assume that they're going to stretch out Scott as far as they can go. It's not necessarily the same situation with these academy teams as it is with West Coast League teams where college coaches have specific inning limits or, pitch count limits. Ethan Scott looking like he's going to go a long way after just 8 1/3 innings pitched with Clark College. He's got the runway to take this game pretty far. He leads at 1-0, gets a breaking ball past Rashad Hayes for strike 2. Three strikeouts for Scott so far. Delivering a 1-2 home to Hayes. Breaking ball that Hayes lays off of in the dirt. Ethan Scott about to throw his 70th pitch of his start. With one out to Rashad Hayes. On the ground up the middle from the Bell's second baseman for a one-out knock. The lineup card turns over to Jaden Jackson, who is 0 of 2, but now a chance to bat with the tying run aboard for Bellingham in the 5th. Jackson a ground out to second, fly out to center. That single from Hayes just the third of the game against Ethan Scott and the first hit since the second inning. Hayes with plenty of speed off of first base as well. Hayes going on the pitch to Jackson, and no throw from Cleaver. It'll be a swipe bag for Rashad Hayes as he steals it away. Seven steals and yet to be caught for Rashad Hayes. He's a perfect 7 of 7 and moves into scoring position for Jaden Jackson. 16 RBI for him on the summer. An RBI here would tie the game. 2-0 the count to Jackson. Another miss to the left fielder, now 3-0. Maybe some cracks showing now in the Nighthawks starter after a single. And a 3-0 count against Jackson. Third time through the order here in the 5th. And it's a 4-pitch walk. Hayes taking off for third. The throw late, and Hayes is in with a head-first slide, swiping it away on the wild pitch. An aggressive try from Hayes to get to third base, but it puts the sacrifice fly in order for Aspen Alexander to try and tie the ball game. Alexander has had some big swings, both deep into the outfield of left center. Flew out to the left fielder Anderson in his second at-bat after having an automatic double back in the first inning. Now with runners on the corners, tying run at third for Bellingham, down 1-0 against the Northwest Star Nighthawks. Breaking pitch to Alexander is strike 1. Time being called here as it'll be a mound visit. Nighthawks right now, nothing going on in their bullpen. No one even in there. They don't got enough players to have guys just resting around in the bullpen, so it'll be whoever is next up. When you look at the roster that we were given, along with Ethan Scott, they've got two other guys that are listed as primary pitchers, Andrew Miller and Carter Weisenhunt. Aside from that, you have a two-way guy, Xavier Gilmore, maybe an option to throw as well. So Hector Infante, a quick word up on the mound with his pitcher, Ethan Scott. The interesting thing was that the mound visit came after a strike. You don't always see that. Alexander foul tips it, and he's in an 0-2 hole. And now he's got to put the ball in play here to try and tie this game. One of the 3 hits so far off of Scott have come from Alexander. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball on the ground, down the third baseline and fair. Hayes into score. Jackson heading into third as it gets to the outfielder. Coach Regier gives him the green light home, and Jackson slides in as the go-ahead run. Aspen Alexander, 2 doubles and 2 RBI on that hit here in the 5th to make it 2-1 Bellingham. Out in left field, Will Anderson really slow to get the ball in as it dribbled into the corner, and it allows Jackson to go from first to home. Wasn't hit extremely hard from Alexander as his first double, but he'll pick up his second double in the game to knock in 2 runs and make it 2-1 Bellingham with the lead. Cassie now bats with Alexander at second. 1 out in the 5th inning. Maybe some momentum now switching to Bellingham. You could feel it turning here in the 5th after Hayes getting that single and stealing second. Jackson getting the walk. And then a 2 RBI double from Alexander to make it 2-1 Bellingham. Their first 2 runs off of Ethan Scott, who's now working above 80 pitches. And that one hits Cassie. A weak little pitch on the hit by a pitch. A calm 65-mile-an-hour breaking ball to put Cassie at first base. The on-base percentage will rise up for Cassie, but Matt Churchill will bat now with runners at first and second. Churchill with 1 out, taking a called strike. 0-1 as the designated hitter is 0-2, reached on an error in the first. Popped up to the first baseman Schiller in the 3rd inning. 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Already a 2-1 lead now for Bellingham with 2 runs in the inning. So Churchill down 0-2 after that swing. "13 runs driven in for Churchill on 28 hits. Runners going as this one goes over Cleaver. Had his eyes on the bags and lost the baseball. It'll be a pass ball that puts the 2 runners up in a scoring position. Alexander now at third and Cassie behind him at second. Only 1 out in the inning as well, so all Churchill has to do is get it past the infield, which will now shift in for the Nighthawks. 45 RBI for Matt Churchill with the University of Puget Sound this year. That came in 36 games. 2 in scoring position, already 2 across in the inning to make it 2-1 Bellingham. This non-league Tuesday evening turning in the Bell's favor. Breaking pitch to Churchill, taken for an even count after falling behind 0-2. Now an even 2-2 count to the Bell's DH. Another breaking ball. This one does get away. Coming home and into score is Alexander as the throw from Cleaver goes towards the Nighthawks dugout. Cassie will stay at third. And just like that, it's 3-1 off the wild pitch. A couple of mistakes from the Nighthawks burning them here in this inning, as now it's 3-1. Still only 1 out. Now a sacrifice fly could make the score 4-1. Full count to Churchill. Swings and lines it straight to the shortstop. Cassie dives back and is safe. Taylor with the putout off of Churchill's liner. 2 down for Nate Johnson. Good contact from Churchill there, but straight to a defensive glove of the Nighthawks. Nate Johnson is 0 for 2 in this game. Still the starter, Ethan Scott, out there. 89 pitches. Number 90 right there is ball 1. Nighthawks do have an arm now warming up in their bullpen, likely to come following the 5th inning. Johnson down the first base line, and for back-to-back times, he's put out by Schiller unassisted at first base. But Bellingham gets 3 runs in the 5th. It's a 3-1 lead as we go into the 6th for the Bells over their non-league opponents here on a Tuesday evening in Bellingham.
Have you had a fall, sprain, or break? Skip the emergency room and go straight to the experts, Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons. With walk-in, same-day orthopedic care, you won't have to wait for the treatment you need. And to better serve our community, we've extended our walk-in clinic hours, 1 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons.
Puget Sound Energy is thrilled to team up with the Bellingham Bells for Community Wednesdays this season. Every Wednesday home game at Joe Martin Field, PSC and the Bells will celebrate a featured Whatcom County nonprofit with a $2,000 donation. Come out to the ballpark to cheer on the Bells while supporting these amazing organizations that make our community stronger. Together, we're building a better Whatcom County. See you at the field. Go Bells. 6th inning now in Bellingham, and the scoreboard flip now in the Bells' favor. It's 3-1 as they lead the Northwest Star Nighthawks into the 6th, and in for a new pitcher, Caden Nichols. After Cole Anderson goes 2 frames of relief, it'll be Nichols as the third arm following the start from Laubach, 2 from Cole Anderson. Anderson would be in line for the win if things hold on where they are. Anderson finished 2 relief innings scoreless, walked 3 batters, gave up a hit, but had 4 strikeouts and now 7 Ks across the Bells starting 2 pitchers that they've had in the game. Caden Nichols will make just his 2nd appearance of the summer with Bellingham. So far has tossed 2 innings in that 1 outing he pitched against the Victoria Harbor Cats back on the 26th of June, that is. In that outing was tagged for 4 hits and a walk to give up 2 runs, struck out 1 batter of the 10 he faced. Now the high school senior out of Bear River High School committed to Cal Poly and taking over in the 6th with a 3-1 lead. Liam Cleaver, after hitting his solo homer in the 2nd, the Nighthawks have not rallied around that at all. It's still just the lone run for the visiting team. So far, Cleaver in the game, walk in that homer. The foul ball gets strike 1. Nichols was first team all-league this year with Bear River High School, 64 2/3 innings pitched with 100 strikeouts. Strike 2 in there. Of course, those 100 Ks across his entire high school career. That would be ridiculous if he did it in one season with how short those high school years are. So across his total of 64 2/3 with Bear River High School in his prep career, he had the 100 Ks. And most impressive part to that as well, only 11 walks issued. Solid product coming out of California, and well on to his way to Cal Poly. Ball and 2 strikes on Liam Cleaver. Leadoff man in the 6th for the Northwest Star Nighthawks. Pitch misses high for ball 2 after a foul ball from Cleaver. It's Cleaver, Schiller, and Dale up for the Nighthawks in the 6th. Two taken high again. Now a full count to the sophomore out of Pacific University. After going 0 of 2 in his 2 at-bats with Pacific this year, Liam Cleaver getting reps in the summer. We've seen him hit a home run. Now trying to lead off the 6th and a 3-2 count. He hits it hard out to left field, and that'll drop in for a one-hopper in front of Jaden Jackson for Cleaver's second hit of the game. 6th by the Nighthawks in the contest. Tying run will come to the plate for Northwest Star. Colin Schiller, the first baseman, 0 of 2, reached on an error and popped up to Nate Johnson at third. First pitch from Nichols, a strike into the first baseman, Schiller. Schiller, a senior from Warner Pacific University, hit .207 this collegiate year. In 40 games, had 25 hits with 15 runs driven in. Was his second year at Warner Pacific after beginning his career at Mount Hood Community College back in 2023. Spent 2 seasons with Mount Hood. Foul tip from him for strike 2. Don't think he's got any eligibility remaining. 22 games in 2023 with Mount Hood, then 35 as a sophomore, 33 as a junior, and then 40 this past year as a senior. Ball 2 misses outside from Nichols. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the first baseman from Prairie High School here in Washington. 2-2 swing and miss. It's a strikeout for Nichols, and the first out in the 6th comes on the swinging K. Now 8 strikeouts for the pitching staff. Dale swings through strike 1. Oh, 0-2 against the right fielder for the Nighthawks. Oh, 2 missing inside. Caleb Dale, another product out of Clark College. So far in the game, a hit and a strikeout. 3 punch-outs from Lavac, the starter. 4 from Cole Anderson across 2 innings of relief. Runner going on the pitch that is just plunked past the second base spot where Rashad Hayes would have been had the runner not taken off. So the hit and run works to perfection for the Nighthawks. As Dale will reach on a single. Now 2 hits off of Caden Nichols in the inning. First and second are the base runners for the Nighthawks, trying to answer a 3-run 5th inning and taking their steps to doing that here in the 6th for Jack Peterson now, who will look to deliver another big swing for the Nighthawks to try and get them back maybe in front or tie this game. First pitch, he flies it to center field where Aspen Alexander's at. Makes the catch for the second out. And that not the swing the Nighthawks were looking for. Will Anderson to bat. He's got a single and a flyout. Caden Nichols, a batter away from having a scoreless 6th inning in his home debut with Bellingham. Foul ball for strike one. Just the one road appearance for him at Victoria. 2 hits in this inning, but a chance to leave those base runners on with one more out. Bells just took the lead with 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning to lead it 3-1 over the Northwest Star Nighthawks. Oh, and 1 fouled back again for strike 2.
Yikes. That's one way to get in the hot water. But for the relaxing cover, just felt very fun.
Nichols trying to strand the 2 runners at first and second for the Nighthawks. Comes set in an 0-2. His 2-out pitch home. Line foul down the third base line. And Anderson will see another after staying alive, but still down 0-2 in the count. Pickoff pump fake from Nichols on a fake throw back to second base where Cleaver was leading off of. Cleaver led off the inning with a single. He's now 2 of 2 with a homer, a single, and a walk. 1 run scored for him, the only Nighthawk to touch home on his solo homer. Nighthawks have since fallen behind 3-1, but Anderson trying to help the comeback. Nichols trying to prevent that as he delivers a ball low and inside, 1-2. The lefty's 2-out pitch, runner going. Massa throw down to third is in time, and Johnson applies the tag, even though Cleaver was trying to dance out of the way. So they'll finish the inning on a caught stealing. 3rd of the game for Dylan Moss as he guns out another runner trying to advance, and we head to the bottom of the 6th. 3-1 the lead for Bellingham here at Joe Martin Field.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
At Judd & Black, great value comes with expert assistance. We're your hometown appliance store where you can expect top-notch service and a wide selection of quality brands.
When you walk into a Judd & Black showroom, you can expect to see a very friendly face that's ready to help and figure out what you need.
Enjoy a shopping experience big box stores can't offer. Talk to an appliance expert at your hometown appliance store for over 85 years. Judd & Black.
When pain or injury slows you down, Peace Health Orthopedics, Sports Medicine, Foot and Ankle, and Trauma Services are here to help. Our experienced orthopedic team cares for bones, joints, and muscles, offering personalized treatment and same-day appointments. From everyday aches to unexpected injuries and joint replacement, Peace Health helps you move better, feel stronger, and get back to your life. Learn more about Peace Health Orthopedics at peacehealth.org. That's peacehealth.org. Zen Hill here on the Bells Radio Network, welcoming you back into the bottom of the 6th inning in Bellingham, Washington. 3-1 the lead for the home team as the Bells lead the Northwest Star Nighthawks here on a Tuesday night in the West Coast League. Non-league matchup for your Bells, but Nighthawks took an early lead 1-0, but 3 runs in the 5th inning make it 3-1 Bellingham, and it takes Ethan Scott out of the game after a 5-inning start. And it's an unfortunate ending for the right-hander's start because, across the first 4 innings, pitched it scoreless, was holding on to the 1-0 lead, and then just in the 5th inning, the Bells strung together a couple of work with the help of 2 hits, a walk, hit by pitch, pass ball, and a wild pitch, helping Bellingham score 3 runs in the 5th. And now Andrew Miller will take over on the hill. The number 24 right-hander comes out of Linfield College, just finished his sophomore season after pitching 3 innings with Linfield. He will now toss for the Northwest Star Nighthawks, down 3-1. Through 5 innings for the starter, Ethan Scott. The 3 earned runs allowed for him, all coming in the 5th inning. Total of 4 hits surrendered. He had 3 strikeouts to just 2 walks, and he hit 1 batter. Andrew Miller in the 6th. First pitch against Tyler Peschke is ball 1. Peschke a single and a strikeout. Bellingham shortstop, 1 of 2. Low strike against him, 1-1. Andrew Miller, not unfamiliar to the West Coast League. A brief inning and 2/3 pitched for Cowlitz and the Black Bears last year. It was over just 1 appearance. Tossed an inning and 2/3 for the Black Bears and only allowed 3 hits and a walk without a run. No chance for Miller to return to Cowlitz this year, and that's because they don't exist anymore. Cowlitz Black Bears no longer part of the West Coast League. They were a member of the South. Last year, 17-team league. This year, back down to 16 after adding Marion, and it's almost like Marion has replaced Cowlitz. Black Bears no longer had a lease for a stadium into the 2026 year, and now no longer a member of the WCL. Tyler Peschke no longer batting at the plate after striking out looking. Called 3rd strike against him. Andrew Miller gets the first strikeout of his relief outing and his very first batter faced. Now Dylan Moss will face the new arm. Moss looking to get on base for the first time in this contest. He's 0 for 2. Fly out and a ground out for Dylan Moss, the Bells catcher. He's been active on defense, though. 3 caught stealings in this game. This is grounded past the diving shortstop Taylor, and it dribbles out into center field. That's a base hit for Dylan Moss. It'll be the 5th hit for Bellingham. Good effort by the shortstop Taylor to try and get there, but a hit all day for Dylan Moss. Now Romanick Keebon, who is 0 for 2, will bat for the 3rd time. His first game back in Bellingham after spending 2025 here in the WCL with the Bells. Obviously going to take maybe some time for him to get back in rhythm here. Coming off of a hot-hitting season at Nevada. So far, a strikeout looking and a grounder to second base for Keebon. Minute being taken here for the catcher Cleaver, who readjusts the mask. Count 1-0 for Keebon. Moss a decent lead off of first, has speed. There's a backpick attempt at first where Moss is safely back. Cleaver saw that he was leaning off of first base, and him and Schiller tried to connect for a caught stealing in the same way that Dylan Moss had been abusing the Nighthawks base runners so far through these first 6 innings. 2-0 foul ball from Keebon. Starting out in right field as Bryce Johnson gets a spot on the bench for this game. Andrew Miller on the bump for his first inning of relief, coming home in a 2-1. Moss going on the pitch. The 1-out throw down is offline. It was going to be in time, but Dylan Moss gets the stolen base on a missed throw from Cleaver. That'll be a steal for Moss, putting him at second base. Now runner in scoring position for Keebon in a 3-1 count. Keybon takes the walk on 5 pitches. So after striking out his first batter, Andrew Miller has given up a single and a walk here in the 6th to put runners at first and second for Rashad Hayes. Hayes on base both times in the 9 spot for Bellingham, walking a single. First and second for Bellingham in the bottom of the 6th with a 3-1 lead. Inside strike 1 to Hayes. Didn't like it. A 1 breaking pitch from Miller low for ball 1. Around the West Coast League tonight, already one final score. Nanaimo and the Night Owls beat the Edmonton Riverhawks 12-4. Got a lot of blowouts going on in the WCL. Wenatchee leading Port Angeles 11-1 in the top of the 6th. Kelowna at home leading Kamloops in the top of the 7th 9-1. And how about Yakima Valley leading Ridgefield 8-1 in the top of the 7th? That's one of the bottom South teams leading the top South team. Moss caught between 2nd and 3rd. Trying to dance out of the way, but he is tagged out. Runner from first, Keybon will move up to second base, but Moss is caught stealing. So there's 2 outs with the runner at second now, and a base running mistake from Bellingham. Other scores in the WCL, you have Walla Walla leading Springfield 2-1 in the top of the 8th. It's a 3-3 tie out in Portland between the Knights of Corvallis in the top of the 4th. The Bend Elks leading the Victoria Harbor Cats 5-2 in the bottom of the 6th. And then a non-league matchup, the Dub C Fish Sticks, who the Bells will see next week, are leading the Marion Berries 2-1 in the top of the 7th. Rashad Hayes taking ball 2 off that miss low. Here's the 2-1. Hayes bumps it to the second baseman Stein, who stabs it, moving to his left to make the play for the 3rd out. Despite the single and a walk, it's a scoreless 6 pitch by Andrew Miller of relief, and a 3-1 lead as we go into the 7th for your Bellingham Bells here at Joe Martin Field.
What's up, Bells fans? Dr. Amar here from Everstrong Therapy, the sports and performance physical therapists and rehab professionals right here in Bellingham. We are so proud to continue being the official training and rehab partner of the Bellingham Bells, making sure our boys are safe and moving their best throughout the season. So remember, when you're ready to rehab like a professional athlete, come see us at Everstrong, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, stay Everstrong, and go Bells.
Bummer. This never happens at a convenient time, does it? It's always while you're hustling to meet a deadline or trying to enjoy the game. If only there were a way to outsource this and get back to what you were doing. Well, as a matter of fact, there is. Team Technology is local and employee-owned, balancing ease of access with security and compliance for the cloud and on-premise systems of small and large businesses alike. Connect with Team Technology and see how technology is easier with a team.
Puget Sound Energy is thrilled to team up with the Bellingham Bells for Community Wednesdays this season. Every Wednesday home game at Joe Martin Field, PSC and the Bells will celebrate a featured Whatcom County nonprofit with a $2,000 donation. Come out to the ballpark to cheer on the Bells while supporting these amazing organizations that make our community stronger. Together, we're building a better Whatcom County. See you at the field. Go Bells. 7th inning in Bellingham, and a new arm up to the hill for your Bellingham Bells. It's Jordan Chancellor taking over things for Caden Nichols after 1 inning of relief by Nichols. He gave up 2 hits in that frame, picked up 1 strikeout, and overall pitched it scoreless. Still 3-1 the lead as Jordan Chancellor will take over, looking for some success. Chancellor through 10 innings so far as a Bell, a 6.30 ERA. And it's been a lot of hot and cold outings for him so far this summer. Chancellor at times has looked dominant the first 2 outings. We're talking about Nearly 4 perfect innings of scoreless ball pitched by him, but roughed up a couple times against Portland, and Kamloops had a great outing against Port Angeles, but then a tag for a run against Nanaimo his last time out. Overall on the season, Chancellor a 6.30 ERA, as he will make his 8th appearance of the year. On the summer, 6 hits, 7 walks allowed for 7 earned runs and 7 strikeouts. It's going to be a big change in speed for these batters as Chancellor deals a low 90s fastball. That one 91 past Will Anderson, who took it. Fastball tip foul for strike 2. We obviously don't know the actual tale behind this or if it's a legitimate one. I didn't watch every single outing of the 2 times that Chancellor pitched on the road this most recent road trip, but he tossed 2 innings at Edmonton and 2 innings at Nanaimo, and what I was told, I don't know if it was a joke, all fastballs from Chancellor. That's a breaking pitch for strike 3 as Chancellor gets a strikeout to start the 7th. So maybe it was a legend. Maybe he didn't actually only throw the heater, but gets a strikeout and a breaking pitch to start his outing here at home in the 7th. Top of the order in Yount. He's 1 for 2, single and a walk, strikeout for the righty batting center fielder. Fastball tipped away. Late swing, late try from these Nighthawks, trying to catch up to that 92-mile-an-hour heater. Strike 2 to Yount. Chancellor pounding in the zone right now. Another 92-mile-an-hour heater. Here's a right-hander's 0-2 home to Yount. Breaking pitch. He's trying to get the same formula of the strikeout that he retired Will Anderson on. That foul ball will keep Yount alive, though. As he hung it over the plate in the breaking pitch instead of burying it in the opposite batter's box. Here's an 0-2. Fastball swing and miss. 10 strikeouts for the Bells pitching staff and back-to-back strikeouts for Jordan Chancellor to start the 7th inning. This is the type of stuff we've seen from Chancellor in a few of his outings. Guys just can't catch up to him. Struck out the side against Kelowna back on the 31st of May. His best outing overall as a Bell. Although he did have 2 scoreless against Edmonton, didn't have a single K. Right now he's got 2 of them. He's now got 9 on the summer. 10 in the game for Bell's pitchers between Laubach's 3, Anderson's 4, Nichols 1, and now 2 from Chancellor. That fastball hopped and skipped towards the plate in the breaking ball for ball 1. Moss will rid the baseball for a new one for his pitcher. One and 0 taken for ball 2 to Emmett Stein. He's got 2 walks in the game, very patient at the plate so far. Once again, in front of a Bell's pitcher in the count. 2 balls and no strikes against Chancellor. Right-hander's pitch is a fastball that's missed at 92. Chancellor giving him the heater in a 2-1. Another fastball for a strike. This one looking 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Emmett Stein. He's trying to get these batters to speed up and then knock that slider away to get the swing and miss. Chancellor is 2-2 with 2 outs. Fastball swing and miss. He strikes out the side in the 7th. 3-1 the lead for Bellingham after an awesome performance from the Bells right-hander. Will stretch in a 3-1 lead heading into the bottom of the 7th.
Washington homeowners are saving thousands of dollars on their energy bill by upgrading their home. And the best part is, CNGC is giving back even more money when you switch to a more efficient alternative. So you can enjoy increased property value, a higher quality of life with better appliances, and greater comfort for your family. Scan this QR code or go to cngc.com and save money on your energy bill.
Choose cooperative. Choose community. Bank with local industrial credit union. Proud Sunday savings sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. If you live, work, or attend school in Washington, you can join a credit union that puts people first. Local decisions, personalized service, and a real commitment to our community. Learn more at industrialcu.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. So, Take Me Out to the Ball Game has been sung. That means we're headed to the bottom of the 7th inning. 3-1 the lead for the Bellingham Bells over the Northwest Star Nighthawks as the sun begins to set here at Joe Martin Field. What a beautiful ballpark here in Bellingham. Seaholm Hill Arboretum as the backdrop with this southwest-facing ballpark in the Pacific Northwest. Just a short drive away from the Canadian border, somewhere where the Bellingham Bells were very active north of the border last week. 9 road games in Canada, facing 6 of those games out in Vancouver Island against the Harbor Cats of Victoria and the Night Owls of Nanaimo. Also went all the way up to Alberta to face the Edmonton Riverhawks. Back here at home for a non-league game against the Northwest Star Nighthawks, and they lead it 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Jaden Jackson doing the leading off here in this 7th inning. 4th appearance at the plate for him. So far hitless 0 of 2 with a walk. Scored a run in the 5th. Was the go-ahead run after he was driven in on Alexander's 2 RBI double. Ball and 2 strikes on Jaden Jackson to start his 4th plate appearance, facing against Andrew Miller for the first time, though. 1-2 pitch fouled away. Miller in his first inning of relief back in the 6th. Struck out his first batter, gave up a single and a walk, but had the help of a caught stealing to get out of that 6th inning scoreless. Forced a ground out against Rashad Hayes to finish the inning. Now Jackson doing the leading off here in the 7th. Jackson hammers this one out to right field. Fair, right into the corner. It hops over the right fielder Dale's head, and Jackson will have a stand-up double. That one was towing the line down the right field line, and a fair ball for another double. Third extra base hit for Bellingham in the game. The first 2 had come from the batter stepping up to the plate, Aspen Alexander. Alexander, a West Coast League All-Star, and so far has performed just like that. He's added to his season total now with a total of 25 RBI to go along with his batting average north of 300. He's got another chance to be productive here. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it back for strike 1. Alexander, 2 of 3 in the game, pair of doubles, 2 runs driven in that 5th inning double that he hit down the third base line. It wasn't a hard hit double as much as we've seen from Jackson just a batter ago, and then Alexander with a hard hit back in the 1st for his first double of the game. The one that scored the 2 runs was just a bouncer into the corner on the left field line and gave the Bells the lead that they now have added to make it 3-1. Alexander could try and extend that even farther. Miller shaking off the first 2 options. Now comes set, but Alexander calls time. Miller will at least now know the pitch that he wants to throw against Alexander. No balls and 2 strikes. Miller's pitch home to Alexander is a breaking pitch inside. Ball 1. One, 2 to the center fielder. Just hit on the ground right side for Stein. It'll be a productive out for Aspen Alexander, hustling down that first baseline, try and force a maybe error play, but Stein made the routine 4-3 play. But it is a get him over out as Jackson moves up 90 feet to third base. Now Noah Cassie on a sacrifice could get Jackson home or even on a fielder's choice, but the infield going to play in for the Nighthawks, trying to keep this a 2-run ball game. Noah Cassie looking for his first hit. 0-2 in the game, but a hit by pitch back in the 5th before he could try and get his first knock. The breaking pitch misses low in the dirt. Cassie, a West Coast League All-Star, the team leader in home runs. Obviously, that is in part because of his 3-homer day. The last time he saw the Bells here at home, facing the Port Angeles lefties, crushed 3 homers on the Tuesday matchup against the lefties. Two straight misses to Cassie as Cleaver was trying to find that pitch in the dirt. One out runner at third for Bellingham after the double from Jackson to start the frame. Andrew Miller set as the right-hander working in his second inning of relief for the Nighthawks. Fastball is fouled away by Cassie. What I think is a fastball for strike 1. Now a 2-1 to the first baseman. This low for ball 3. Just 2 walks so far from the Nighthawks, both coming from the starter, Ethan Scott. It's been the 2 walks and 6 hits for Bellingham offensively to give them their 3 runs. Jackson trying to be the 4th run to score. Good grab by Cleaver because wild pitch could have scored Jackson, but it will be a walk to Cassie. On base for now 2 straight times. Matt Churchill will hunt his first hit in the game. Had a hard hit line drive straight to the shortstop Taylor back in the 5th inning. He looked to make similar good contact with 1 out, runners at first and third for Bellingham in the 7th. Oh, it hits him in the back on the first pitch. No chance to drive in runs on that one. Not even a chance to take it as he eats 78 to the back. First hit by pitch for Andrew Miller. And it loads the bases for Nate Johnson, who's also hitless so far. And with Churchill reaching on a hit by pitch, Nate Johnson, the only Bell to not be on base. Strikeout and a pair of groundouts to Schiller at first base his last 2 times through. Base is loaded up for Johnson. Corner infielders in for the Nighthawks. Middle infielders back for a double play. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch is wide. Nate Johnson does not have a home run this year. Base is juiced. It would be a heck of a first home run as the Bellingham Bell to grab. 2-0 is the count. Yet to see a strike, though. And if you're not going to see a strike, you're not going to have one to hit. Johnson had 4 homers for Tulane this year. 1 home run last year in the California Collegiate League. 3 straight misses to him. Things possibly getting out of control as far as pitch control for Andrew Miller. Walking a hit by a pitch, and now back 3-0 against Johnson. You got to imagine 3-0, he's not swinging. Or does he have the green light here in a non-league game? That's an expanded strike 1. Three and 1 the count on Johnson. Bases juiced up with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Johnson takes it, 4-4, and it's a bases loaded walk to score the Bells' 4th run of the game. It's not the most dramatic way to score your 4th run, but Jackson will be in to score after leading off the inning with a double, and station to station go the Bells. Cassie up to 3rd, Churchill at 2nd. Nate Johnson at 1st. Mound visit from the catcher Cleaver to talk it over with Andrew Miller after now some struggle with 2 walks and a hit batter over his last 3 batters faced. And Tyler Peschke, who was 1 of 3, a pair of strikeouts his last 2 times. One of those against Miller, the very first batter that Miller faced in relief in the 6th. The lead has grown to 4-1 for Bellingham. First pitch to Peschke, another miss. No one warming up for the Nighthawks in the bullpen. No movement from the coach to come out there and talk it with Miller. This right-hander being left alone to try and work through his command struggles. Pop back from Peschke for a strike on a foul ball. Bells leading this game 4-1 over the Nighthawks despite being out-hit by Northwest Star. The Nighthawks have 7 hits to the Bells' 6. One breaking ball. Skied to right field. In play for Dale right near the foul line. He'll make the catch. Runner tagging Cassie from 3rd as the throw is cut off on its way home. Sacrifice fly from Tyler Peschke to score the 5th run of the game, and it's 5-1 Bellingham. And 2 outs in the 7th. Runners at 1st and 2nd stay put for Dylan Moss as the lead has grown to 4. It's 5-1 with 2 runs across in the 7th inning on bases loaded walk from Nate Johnson. Sacrifice fly to right field for Tyler Peschke. Moss picked up a single in the 6th inning against Andrew Miller. First pitch, he swings around for strike 1. Still 1st and 2nd for Bellingham. Chance to make the inning even bigger than it is already, growing the lead to 4. Breaking pitch in the dirt. Block from Cleaver to keep Churchill at 2nd. And behind him, Nate Johnson at 1st. Miller just steps off with a motion back towards second base where Churchill's at. No throw even to contest the runner. No defender moving over to cover the back even for the Nighthawks. Now Miller back on the rubber after that small reset. Quick pitch home to Dylan Moss. Swing and miss for strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes in the Bells catcher. One and two breaking pitch, just skied for the second baseman Stein. He'll wave it off for the third out, but 2 more runs in for Bellingham, and it's 5-1. The Bells lead the Nighthawks entering the 8th.
Hey kids, head down towards the first base gate where you met Dinger earlier to get a garbage bucket from a promotions crew member.
What's up, Bells fans? Dr. Amar here from Everstrong Therapy, the sports and performance physical therapists and rehab professionals right here in Bellingham. We are so proud to continue being the official training and rehab partner of the Bellingham Bells, making sure our boys are safe and moving their best throughout the season. So remember, when you're ready to rehab like a professional athlete, come see us at Everstrong and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, stay Everstrong, and go Bells.
Bummer. This never happens at a convenient time, does it? It's always while you're hustling to meet a deadline or trying to enjoy the game. If only there were a way to outsource this and get back to what you were doing. Well, as a matter of fact, there is. Team Technology is local and employee-owned, balancing ease of access with security and compliance for the cloud and on-premise systems of small and large businesses alike. Connect with Team Technology and see how technology is easier with a team.
When pain or injury slows you down, Peace Health Orthopedics, Sports Medicine, Foot and Ankle, and Trauma Services are here to help. Our experienced orthopedic team cares for bones, joints, and muscles, offering personalized treatment and same-day appointments. From everyday aches to unexpected injuries and joint replacement, Peace Health helps you move better, feel stronger, and get back to your life. Learn more about Peace Health Orthopedics at peacehealth.org. That's peacehealth.org. Zen Hill welcoming back into the 8th inning here on the Bells Radio Network. We hope you're enjoying the ball game from wherever you're watching it. Of course, there's a lot of places that these kids come from to play in the ballpark, so it's always fun to have a lot of representation from around the country oftentimes. Of course, it's a West Coast league, so you get a lot of California, Oregon, and Washington guys, but there's some guys from far out in Texas and Florida and lots of places around. So we hope you're enjoying it so far on the summer. Whoever you're rooting for, we're glad you're here cheering on the Bellingham Bells. And right now in a non-league game, it's a 5-1 lead for the Bells over the Northwest Star Nighthawks. Non-league game, so it won't count towards the overall record, but it will count in the hearts of the players, the hearts of the fans that have just wanting some wins as of late. 2-7 for the Bells over their last 9 games. That comes after going on a 10-game win streak, capped off here the last time you saw the Bells in a 3-game sweep over the Port Angeles Lefties. On the mound is Ben McKinnon, sophomore from Bossier Parish College, a community college where he led the team in innings pitched this collegiate year, 70 1/3 innings tossed, with a 3.45 ERA and a 7-2 record. Used as a starter for the most part, but he's here in relief. Starting the 8th inning, so far 2 straight misses. McKinnon back in Bellingham after one appearance on August 4th of last season against the Victoria Harbor Cats. In that outing, went 2 2/3, earned the win in a 3-2 win over Victoria for Bellingham. Not a far journey for him to come to play for the Bells, initially out of Surrey in British Columbia. He deals in strike 1 against Caden Taylor. Taylor in the game 0 of 3 with a strikeout, ground out, and fly out. This chop back towards McKinnon. He patiently waits for it. And the pitcher with an easy put out to start the 8th inning. McKinnon making his debut here with the Bellingham Bells and gets the first play for his first out. Comes after Jordan Chancellor struck out the side in the 7th inning. That was an electric outing from Chancellor with all punch-outs, swinging strikeouts as well. Didn't even need the help from the umpire to get it done. Porter, the DH at the dish, 0 of 3 for him, a pair of strikeouts at the plate. The first pitch ball dealed from Ben McKinnon. McKinnon walked 33 batters this collegiate year, had 70 strikeouts for Bossier Parish. It was his freshman season coming out of Semiahmoo High School. There's a swing and a miss from Porter, so 2-1 on the DH. Working quickly against Porter. It's strike 2. I mean, this guy is in no danger of a pitch clock. Ben McKinnon throws a pitch, fixes his hat, gets set, takes the first sign from Moss, the catcher, and throws on a 2-2. A foul tip from Porter to stay alive. He's got no time to catch his breath, though. Another 2-2 home. That one taken. They ask if he swung around, but the appeal fails, so now a full count on McKinnon. Three-two. Swing and a miss from Porter. McKinnon gets the strikeout, his first K as a Bellingham Bell in the 2026 season, and 2 down in the 8th. Cleaver, the catcher, representing the only run for the Nighthawks on his solo homer. Swing and a miss from Cleaver for strike 1. So after the aforementioned appearance for Bellingham in 2024 at Victoria, Ben McKinnon returned to the Bellingham Bells in 2025. Tossed 5 innings for Bellingham last summer. 3 games out of the bullpen for him. Finished one of those. Had just 3 runs allowed on 5 hits and 3 walks. Struck out 4. Now his 3rd summer with the Bells. 0-2 miss to Claver. So 1-2 now on the catcher. It's the 3rd overall stint after those 2 2/3 innings in 2024. The 5 innings in 2025, and now his first in 26. Has started well, 2 straight outs against the non-league opponent. And although these stats today won't necessarily show up on their career log as a Bellingham Bell, McKinnon has looked well. And on a 2-2, it's taken for strike 3. 1-2-3, down go the Nighthawks against Ben McKinnon. 2 strikeouts to finish a scoreless 8th as it's 5-1 heading to the bottom of 8 here in Bellingham.
Have you had a fall, sprain, or break? Skip the emergency room and go straight to the experts, Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons. With walk-in, same-day orthopedic care, you won't have to wait for the treatment you need. And to better serve our community, we've extended our walk-in clinic hours, 1 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Proliance Pacific Rim orthopedic surgeons.
Choose cooperative. Choose community. Bank with local industrial credit union. Proud Sunday savings sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. If you live, work, or attend school in Washington, you can join a credit union that puts people first. Local decisions, personalized service, and a real commitment to our community. Learn more at industrialcu.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. Bottom of the 8th inning here in Bellingham. I'm Zen Hill. Welcome into what has been the Bellingham Bells ball game in the back half of it. Through the first half of the game, all Nighthawks, 1-0 lead through quite literally 4.5 innings. But since then, 5 runs for Bellingham and a 5-1 lead as we go to the bottom of 8. And the Northwest Star Nighthawks have a new pitcher, Carter Weisenhunt, is going to take over for the 8th inning from Andrew Miller. Weisenhunt, a high school senior from Heritage High School, and he's committed to Clark College. Nowhere else you'd expect. So many Clark College guys on this team. He takes over Andrew Miller's spot, who pitched 2 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, both coming in the 7th inning. Miller total gave up just 2 hits, but did have a hit batter. He walked 3 batters and struck out 1. Weisenhunt takes over for the 8th inning, just trying to keep the score where it stands in hope of a bit of a miracle comeback for the Nighthawks in the 9th inning. Dominic Keybon will do the leading off in the 8th, followed by Rashad Hayes and Jaden Jackson. A little bit of a sidearm delivery into Keybon, who is playing in his first game back in Bellingham after last season hitting .276 with the Bells. Keybon so far 0 of 2 tonight. Swing and a miss for strike 2. A bit of an awkward delivery here that these Bells hitters are going to have to get used to in the 8th. Heritage High School 8-14 this year, 5-7 in their league. The senior year for Weisenhunt. Not going to blow you away with the velocity, it seems, but just that awkward sidearm delivery so far, getting 2 straight strikes. Wouldn't necessarily call it submarine, although it is on the borderline of it. He's not getting down on the ground as you see like a Tyler Rogers do, but it's coming around. Ball 2, though, and back-to-back misses have it even against Keybon. Here in the bottom of the 8th. 5-1 the lead for the Bells. 2-2 miss, and now 3 straight misses after 2 straight strikes from Weisenhunt to start his relief outing. And a full count against Dominic Keybon. Now with 3-2, Keybon sprays it out into left field, and now the right fielder has his first hit with Bellingham back here in 2026. A leadoff single in the 8th inning, and he's got speed as well to be at first base to start the 8th. 7th hit of the game for Bellingham, now matching the Nighthawks' 7 hits. Weisenhunt gives up the single to start his relief outing in the 8th. And Rashad Hayes, the second baseman, to bat. A single and walk to his name with a run scored back in the 5th after reaching on his hit with 1 out in that 5th inning where the Bells went on to score 3 runs. He was the first Bell to touch home plate in this game, and 4 more have followed to make it 5-1. First pitch in for a strike against Hayes. I mean, 61 miles an hour from the right-hander. It's just crazy. It almost seems like he's underhand throwing it. Hayes popped up. That's the type of results that Weisenhunt wants. That type of delivery will get you that. Weisenhunt gets a fly out to center field from Rashad Hayes for the first out. Jaden Jackson, a double and a run scored in the 7th to go along with his walk and a run scored in the 5th. 1 of 3 overall for Bell's left fielder. Breaking pitch thrown into Jackson for a strike. That one at 73 miles an hour. Hit and run as it's grounded to Stein at second base. With a hit and run on, it'll be just 1. No chance of a double play for the Nighthawks. And Keybon will move up to second on the ground out from Jackson. Nasman Alexander looking to cap off a productive night. 2 doubles, 2 RBI, 2 of 4 with a run scored. Alexander taking the first pitch for a strike. Weisenhut has done a nice job getting in front of the batters after surrendering that single to Keybon. 2 straight outs gained for him. Right-hander missing inside to Alexander for ball 1. Tomorrow night, the Bellingham Bells will face the Everett Merchants at 6:35. You can catch the ball game here on the Bells YouTube channel or come to the ballpark. BellsTickets.com, the only place to buy Bells tickets all season long. We've got the next 9 games here at home. That's including this one. You could say 10 games if you include the Community Champions game as well on the upcoming Monday. A couple of non-league opponents these next 2 days following this finish here on a Tuesday night. Be Bombat Northwest coming to town on Thursday. And the Port Angeles Lefties here again for another series against Port Angeles, the 3rd of the year for Bellingham. That'll be over the weekend. An early start time on Friday, 4:35. That's because there's a post-game concert. And then on Saturday, we got post-game fireworks. It'll be a day game on Sunday, 1:35 start time then. Alexander popped up, shallow right. It's Dale moving into foul ground to make the catch just off the right of your screen. The leadoff single left on base with 3 straight outs from Carter Weisenhunt, and we go to the 9th. 5-1. Bell's looking to close the door here on the Northwest Star Nighthawks.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
At Judd & Black, great value comes with expert assistance. We're your hometown appliance store where you can expect top-notch service and a wide selection of quality brands.
When you walk into a Judd & Black showroom, you can expect to see a very friendly face that's ready to help and figure out what you need.
Enjoy a shopping experience big box stores can't offer. Talk to an appliance expert at your hometown appliance store for over 85 years. Judd & Black.
Puget Sound Energy is thrilled to team up with the Bellingham Bells for Community Wednesdays this season. Every Wednesday home game at Joe Martin Field, PSC and the Bells will celebrate a featured Whatcom County nonprofit with a $2,000 donation. Come out to the ballpark to cheer on the Bells while supporting these amazing organizations that make our community stronger. Together, we're building a better Whatcom County. See you at the field. Go Bells. So here we go, 9th inning, 5-1 lead for Bellingham, just trying to shut the door on this non-league victory. It'll be Caleb Seebeck trying to do just that as the freshman right-hander out of the University of San Diego makes his debut. He had a bulky freshman year for a pitcher, 32 innings tossed for him in 17 bullpen appearances, did make 3 starts as well. And across those 32 innings, did have 30 punch-outs, but gave up 16 walks, had a .325 opponent batting average against him, and it was a total of a .928 ERA for Seebeck for San Diego. But now here in Bellingham getting his debut, and he's got an easy 5-1 lead to work with to try and just find the next 3 outs. He relieves Ben McKinnon, who gets 2 punch-outs across 1 scoreless 8th inning. Nothing allowed from McKinnon to keep the game 5-1 as the lead. Dylan Moss trotting out there for a quick word against Seebeck, maybe crossed up a little bit. Make sure they got the signs right. A lot of pitchers in this game for Bellingham, running out of room on the scorecard. Seebeck is the 6th pitcher to go. And so far, they've all worked extremely well. A total of 13 strikeouts for Bellingham pitching. Seebeck getting strike 1 against Schiller, who leads things off. They say he goes around on a check swing, so it'll be a quick 0-2 start for Seebeck in the debut. Here's an 0-2. Wild miss away. Oh, a 2 swing and a miss. It's a strikeout for Seebeck, and in his debut, he retires the first batter he faces. 14 strikeouts for the Bells pitching staff tonight. The Nighthawks have a pinch hitter. Wyatt Brannon, a high school senior committed to Walla Walla Community College, will bat in the place of the right fielder, Caleb Dale. Foul ball on his first pitch. Seebeck all strikes so far, just working well. 1 ball missed from him. We'd love to see guys coming in and just throwing strikes in their debut. Ben McKinnon did it with a 1-2-3-8. Caleb Seebeck misses wide that time. I'll take the jinx. Seebeck initially out of Ventura High School in California. Total of 29 innings in his senior season. Compiled a 1.44 ERA. Served as the starting pitcher in a combined no-hitter with Ventura. This line back behind him and into center field. Seebeck couldn't snare it there at the mound, so it'll be a base hit up the middle. And a 1-out single for the pinch hitter. Jack Peterson will come up with 1 out and a runner at first. At the first hit for the Nighthawks since the 6th inning, it had been Jordan Chancellor, Ben McKinnon shutting things down with 1, 2, 3, 7th that featured 5 strikeouts across those 2 innings. And this is a hit by pitch. So just hold on a second. Things may be getting interesting here in the 9th. Of course, still a couple batters away from the tying run coming to the plate. But now 2 on with 1 out. Seebeck trying to get the command back in order. Anderson at the plate, a hit in his first plate appearance, but the last 2 times retired on a flyout and a strikeout. After a foul ball, strike 1. Seebeck waiting to get back onto the rubber because umpire needs some fresh baseballs. West Coast League partnered with Rawlings for this summer. Official ball of the West Coast League. First and second for the Nighthawks here in the 9th inning. 1 down, 2 straight reaching after the first retired on a strikeout from Seebeck in his debut. That pitch missing for ball 1 low. Seebeck's father played basketball at Azusa Pacific University, won 4 conference titles there, and maybe wasn't the best trophy that he won because the other one was his wife he met playing also at Azusa Pacific. Seebeck's mother played volleyball there at APU and, in fact, still leads the program in career blocks. Ball and 2 strikes on Will Anderson after the foul ball. 1 out and Seebeck home. Inside, check swing, and they say he went around. Anderson kind of knew it himself, was already walking towards the dugout. It's another check swing strike for Seebeck to help him have 2 punch-outs so far in the 9th. 15 Ks as a pitching staff for Bellingham tonight. Lineup card turns over to the top of the order for the potential final time in this game. Yount, 2 strikeouts at the plate for him. 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Seebeck, low for strike 1. Bottom shelf to get him ahead against the center fielder. Leading it off in the ball game for the Nighthawks, but today maybe the last batter to come up. Top of the 9th inning, 2 outs. First and second for the Nighthawks. They trail 5-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Pretty good debut for Seebeck right here. 2 strikeouts already. Trying to cap the victory. Here's an 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3 punch-outs in the inning for Seebeck. Welcome to Bellingham. What a showing for him. We'll erase the blemish of the hit and the hit by pitch because it didn't matter at the end of it. How about 3 strikeouts for Seebeck in the 9th to cap a 5-1 win over the Northwest Star Nighthawks. A non-league win for Bellingham, but a nice confidence boost for these Bells back here at home after a long way away up in Canada for 9 straight games. Finally back at the Joe, and how about that? Getting a victory here tonight. They take it down 5-1 over the Northwest Star Nighthawks. That is 16 strikeouts for the pitching staff. You can't help but just be in shock by what we saw, especially from the last 3 arms. 3 from Chancellor, 2 from Ben McKinnon, and then 3 from Caleb Seebeck. Those all coming in 1 inning by all of those guys. That was an awesome finish to the game as far as pitching goes. 16 strikeouts and a dub for Bellingham. Won't improve their record at all, but they take the win 5-1 over the Northwest Star Nighthawks. We'll see everyone tomorrow against the Everett Merchants at 6:35. Another non-league game here at the ballpark. Stick around. We'll go through all the stats from today's win. 5-1 the Bells win it, and we'll also look around the West Coast League. We've got a lot of final scores around the WCL. What a win for Bellingham. Get back on track after losing 7 games of the 9-game road trip. Feels good to be at home. I'm sure the guys are feeling good after a victory. 5-1 today, and we will see you in just a moment here to go over the post-game stats.
What's up, Bells fans? Dr. Amar here from Everstrong Therapy, the sports and performance physical therapists and rehab professionals right here in Bellingham. We are so proud to continue being the official training and rehab partner of the Bellingham Bells, making sure our boys are safe and moving their best throughout the season. So remember, when you're ready to rehab like a professional athlete, come see us at Everstrong, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, stay Everstrong, and go Bells.
Bummer. This never happens at a convenient time, does it? It's always while you're hustling to meet a deadline or trying to enjoy the game. If only there were a way to outsource this and get back to what you were doing. Well, as a matter of fact, there is. Team Technology is local and employee-owned, balancing ease of access with security and compliance for the cloud and on-premise systems of small and large businesses alike. Connect with Team Technology and see how technology is easier with a team.
Washington homeowners are saving thousands of dollars on their energy bill by upgrading their home. And the best part is, CNGC is giving back even more money when you switch to a more efficient alternative. So you can enjoy increased property value, a higher quality of life with better appliances, and greater comfort for your family. Scan this QR code or go to cngc.com and save money on your energy bill.
5-1 final at Joe Martin Field. Non-league victory for the Bellingham Bells. They take it over the Northwest Star Nighthawks, led by, in part, the pitching staff. An awesome showing from them. 16 strikeouts for the Bells pitchers. Cole Lobbeck got it started of 3 innings of work, gave up 1 run. The only run in the game, a solo homer for Liam Cleaver, the catcher. Lobbeck had 3 strikeouts, followed by Cole Anderson, who earned the win, his second of the year. 4 strikeouts for him in 2 scoreless innings. Then the next 4 arms, Caden Nichols, 1 strikeout in 1 inning. 1 inning for Chancellor where he struck out the side. Ben McKinnon sat down 2 in the 8th. And then Caleb Seebeck with 3 strikeouts across the scoreless 9th inning. On offense, leading the way was Aspen Alexander, 2 of 5 with a go-ahead 2 RBI double in the 5th inning. Gave the Bells the runs they needed to beat these Nighthawks, although there was some cushion added later on. Both of his hits were doubles, and he also scored a run himself. The only Bell with multiple hits on a 7-hit night for Bellingham. Jaden Jackson was 1 of 4 with 2 runs scored and had a walk. Noah Cassie scored once after walking. Nate Johnson picked up an RBI on a bases-loaded walk. Tyler Peschke was 1 for 3 with a run driven in. Dylan Moss, 1 of 4 in the game. Robnick Keebon back in Bellingham walked and got a hit. Rashad Hayes was 1 for 3 with a walk and a single, and he also scored a run. For the Nighthawks, leading them 2 hits for Liam Cleaver, including the solo home run. He also drew a walk in the game. 2 hits from Caleb Dale and a 2 of 3 night. Overall, 8 hits for the Nighthawks in their loss. The loss going to Ethan Scott, the starter. 5 innings of work from him. 4 of them were scoreless, and then those 3 runs coming across in the 5th. Bellingham deploying a lot of arms today, but they got it done, a 5-1 win. And then tomorrow they'll face another non-league opponent, taking on the Everett Merchants of the Pacific International League. Should be, a bit of a better contest maybe if you just want to say competitive-wise, because the Pacific International League is the former league of the Bellingham Bells. There's good teams in there, and one of those teams was playing tonight. The Dub C Fish Sticks, they blew a lead against the Marion Berries. The Berries came back to win 4-3 in that ball game. So Marion avoids a non-league loss. Wasn't a walk-off. The Berries had 3 runs in the 8th inning to take the 4-3 victory. Other final scores, Nanaimo on the road beat Edmonton 12-4. Night Owls continue their good season. The Kelowna Falcons at home beat the Kamloops North Paws in a Canadian clash. 11-1 win for the Falcons there. The only other final right now would be us here in the 5-1. Oh, no, Yakima Valley and the Pippins. They took down Ridgefield 10-4. You have a bottom of the 9th right now. Springfield down against Walla Walla. The Sweets leading on the road 6-3. Other games, Victoria and the Harbor Cats leading the Bend Elks 15-5 in the bottom of the 8th. Corvallis Knights up 9-3 in the Portland Pickles in the top of the 5th. And the Wenatchee Apple Sox up 19-1 in the top of the 8th against the Port Angeles Lefties. A 5-1 win for Bellingham tonight. We'll see everyone tomorrow. 6:35 start time for a non-league game against the Everett Merchants. Bells back in the win column after a pretty good statement win in the second half of the ball game. Looked a lot better than that first half. Got 5 runs from the 3 in the 5th and the 2 in the 7th to take the 5-1 win. And they'll try and have another non-league win tomorrow against the Everett Merchants. We'll see everyone then. I'm Zen Hill. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Have a good night, and go Bells.